Compashiwao, Kantakiwao.
I don't know what that really means. Hola, konnichiwa. Hola,
She knows not
konnichiwa.
what she says.
Yeah, that I don't know what I said. Hi.
Hi.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás? What is
Bien,
up,
gracias.
everybody? I am your girl, the princess of all.
And I'm Kujo Speaks.
And we are here on the Good Time Show, y'all.
Hello,
Okay.
folks.
Um,
What is today?
I'm gonna.
Woah Wednesday.
Wednesday.
All right.
Woah,
Pin it.
woah,
Man,
woah,
if you
woah,
don't
woah,
find my email
woah,
somewhere,
woah,
send it to
woah.
Kujo at 9390 hot9397.com. Kujo at hot9397.com.
Because I was about to say.
Yeah, I got my phone
what
up on the
address?
stand and stuff. I'm not
What are
writing all
those?
of that. What's up, Aoife?
I'm gonna eat this
Brad's
piece of
killing in the
candy
building.
before we
Right.
continue to.
Yeah, you do your thing.
We always
You
supposed
do
to.
your thing. I'm not bothering you today.
Mm-mm.
That don't bother me. That don't bother me.
Nobody bothered me. Please.
Princess is having sinus problems. I'm calling it out right now. So if you hear her sniffling, she is radio, folks. If you hear her sniffling, she is not doing cocaine.
I am not. Let's make that a big disclaimer, okay?
I was telling my wife how we were talking about that, how like half of our listeners or more are just on radio. So I'm like, I think about that now. Yeah, you can also send it to 9397 Network. Do we have a 9397 Network at gmail.com? I think you heard that wrong. No, send it to Kujo, Kujo at hot9397.com. Or just DM me.
Right.
Your info.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Right.
ways. There's a lot
Hit
of
him
ways.
in a DM.
DM. Aoife said, big news, little man took his first steps today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him more.
Congratulations. Your life is over. Over. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right. Yes, you can do
You
attention
now
to me.
have to put everything in your house away where it's
Oh,
be broken
man.
or in the toilet.
I'm glad you
Boom.
brought that
Welcome
up,
to that
Aoife.
lifestyle, Aoife.
So today, one of my kids is going to be a rock climber of some sort because he is a beast at climbing. I look over, he's on the dining room table per usual. So I'm like, get down, and I watched him get down to see if he could actually successfully get himself off of the table, and he can. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, at least that makes me feel a little bit better because now I know he knows how to get down. He won't just bail. Yeah. So I go to the couch with my other kid, and we're playing around doing whatever, and I hear a chair slam. I had pushed the chair in. Mind you, this is a matter of 30 seconds. I hear a chair slam, and he starts screaming.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he tried to climb on it again and fell, or if he lifted the chair and it fell on him, or I have no idea what happened, but I don't know.
I know the exact same story. I was sitting at the table and I was doing homework, and David was sitting on the couch and we were watching TV. And you know how high a high chair is. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would think that their child knows how to climb a high chair because there's no like bottom piece to it. It's literally just like the seat and the tabletop.
He's just straight up shimmied up.
He's literally all we hear is a bang. He climbed to the top of his high chair and jumped
off the top ropes.
Like, who would have thought that? Like, like it's just climbers, man.
Have y'all been watching WWE with him or anything? Like, has he seen somebody come off the top ropes?
No, he just climbs. He will. We got the same TV stand. He climbs on the top of the TV stand and hugs the TV and just like stands up there.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I don't let them down in the basement yet, and that's where mine is because there's way too much stuff down there for them to mess with. I wouldn't be able to contain them.
Yeah,
unless I put them in a like gated, locked them up with.
I saw this dad tape his kids to the wall.
I want to do that so bad. Every time I joke about it, people are like, "Oh, don't do that! Oh my god!" I'm like, "Why not? That'll be hilarious."
That's actually keeping them safer.
And then just throw shit at them. That'd be fun.
I don't know about throwing stuff.
It'd be fun.
But
like
them
a
being
little
on the
game.
walls is possibly safer than them just like wondering.
It's like a game. Look, you leave their arms open, right? So you tape everything but their arms
and their mouth and their face, of course.
Sure. And then you throw stuff at them and see like they try to catch it. I'm sure they would think that was fun.
Of catch.
Yeah. But they're just very, very, very stationary.
Or we could put like some Velcro on the other side, like we throw the ball at them. And it's like
my kids are that'd
like
be
Velcro
dope.
thing, like.
No, because then if they don't get it off and throw it to you, I got to get up and grab it. I want it to bounce off and then come back.
No,
to
you
me.
just hit them.
Gotta have a lot of balls.
No,
Gotta
that's
have
the
a lot of
old-fashioned
balls.
whooping.
That's
You touch that. Let's hit them in the gut.
Yeah,
We're
if you
just
guys ever
kidding,
need
people.
anybody to
None of
babysit,
None of
we
these
are
dudes,
available.
We do not treat our children like this at all. Maybe, possibly. Who
I
knows?
would.
But it is 18 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
4:18 on the east and 1:18 on the west.
And 3:18 CST.
Because Kujo know it best.
I does.
Kujo know it best.
I does.
But yes, y'all, today is Woah Wednesday, and I'm definitely letting all of you guys know in advance. My allergies have been getting the best of me. So right now, you can probably hear it in my voice. I sound pretty nasally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that stuck between like, is your nose running or is it
Cocaine's
stopped
catching up to you?
You know, I mean, I did a lot in my heyday. I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
I can't even take nasal spray, let alone some powdery substance. Is it powder?
Right. When
or is
I'm
it liquid?
powder, cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Look. I don't know. I don't even know where you buy this stuff from. I would be the idiot
At the
that goes
cocaine
to jail.
store.
I would be the idiot that like Googles.
You walk in and say, "Excuse me, does anybody here have cocaine?"
I'm here to buy a swindle of coke.
A swindle of coke.
Like,
what the hell is a swindle?
Can I get a fifth of coke?
Like,
like I don't know the lingo here, people. They'd be like, get her
Y'all
out of
sell
here.
pints?
Get her out of here.
Can I get a pint of coke?
Tyler Belt is tuned in.
What
He
up,
said, "What's
Ty?
up, fam? Hi, Ty.
What's good,
Make sure you
man?
guys check him out on Saturdays. Ty's Takes Today.
Yeah.
He's always bringing some fire interviews, new guests, new acts, and he's always featuring the You Pick 93. So make sure you guys continue to check him out. I mean, we have a fire roster on our network.
Very excited.
Anywho,
speaking of which, I still got to hit up Mel. Mel. The other show. Mel.
Mel what?
Mel B. Melly Mel. Mel.
I don't know.
The other show I sent you that I was supposed to have.
Oh.
If anybody else
I'm like,
knows,
is he trying to say milk?
No.
Milk.
He needs some milk.
You ever seen that video of that guy trying to say milk? He's like, milk.
You sure it wasn't you?
It was really a person.
Appreciate you, Nathaniel. I will check my DM as soon as we get an air break, sir.
It's sliding in your DMs and snatching your people. Love.
Actually, I should get my computer.
Actually, Ice JJ Fish just got married.
I've seen. So, is he? I seen he was talking like he's back on the scene now because everybody said he was getting married or whatever the case may be. I just want to know if he's putting out music still. That's what I want to know.
I don't really think that he ever was.
Oh, he
really
was dropping. He was dropping all kinds of music. Yeah, that's how he got big. Yeah, music videos and all that. He had a bunch of them. He was like the hottest thing popping for a while.
I got big things popping.
Yeah,
things stopping. Okay,
let's get him on the show, man. Let's get Ice JJ Fish on the show.
I mean, we could.
Right.
We very well much could.
Right. I want to talk to him because honestly, regardless of what you think about his music, he did something. You know what I mean? He got big. He's a household name, or at least he was. So whether he was joking around or doing it for serious, that's what I always say.
Man hyping him up?
No.
Hype me up.
Do not get me wrong.
He downloaded the JJ Fish album. That's what he's trying to get to.
You know what's funny though? There's a girl in one of his videos that someone I know is like really close friends with, and they were all like, "Oh, my homegirl's in the ice." They were hyping this up like this was her big break because it had like millions of views. This video did, but I hate the way our society is, and I hate to say hate because I don't hate many things.
No, I hate.
But just like the period girl, you can't tell them as artists or the Island Boys. You can't tell them as artists that they suck because they have millions of views. They're getting paid for doing what they're doing. So how can you technically tell them that they suck if they're reaching success, regardless if it's just from like a joke?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it just depends on what's your definition of success, right? For me, my definition of
Which we
success is
had that
long,
talk last
right?
season
Yeah,
too.
which is longevity. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So those type of people, the ice JJ fish, and the period A period, like it's only going to be a trend until the next video come out. Then you're not going to get a booking, and then no one's going to hear of you, and that money train is going to end. So I mean, yeah,
Or
you were able to have a get rich quick scheme, but that's it. Because I
or
don't know anybody
yeah, I do.
who is
The
still around
Catch Me
from.
Outside girl.
Where is she?
She
Baja
she
Batty?
making multi-millions on
Only
OnlyFans right now.
only
What do you mean
fans, not
as a musician?
musical.
I
Yeah,
don't think
that's what I'm
she
saying.
ever
Like,
really was trying to be
listen,
an
I
artist.
know
I
she
think she
was.
did
I
it.
loved her rap.
I think she
Like,
did it and put it out, but I don't think that was ever her like this is my meal ticket. She was already popping.
no, she got bars. I'm not even gonna front. She
Yeah.
definitely has bars.
The
I've
first
listened to a
one
couple
she
of her
put out, I
songs.
was like, okay.
High bit, like she really
Yeah.
can rap. But I mean,
Yep.
like career,
Amber.
like music
Isn't it
wise.
Amber
How
Begonia?
many people can continue to put out music after that? They have to transition to either a OnlyFans or a viral
But
sensation
is that
of keeping a
that's what
TikTok.
is that the goal for them though? Were they really planning? See, that's what I always want to know. Like when artists like that come out, like Ice JJ Fish, the Island Boys, all that, do they legitimately feel like they are good artists and that they will have this long, successful career and win Grammys and yada yada yada? Or did
People
somebody
do.
tell them like, "Oh my gosh, that's funny as hell. Like you got a gimmick, you should put this out. You're gonna make money off of it." Because if money is the goal, then technically all of them are successful because they've got more money than I got, living in mansions and driving nice cars that they blew their money on. But
I guess.
and it's just sad. It's sad that our society has propelled people like that to that sense of notoriety and success and fame just to rip it away from them when the next thing comes. It's very sad.
I mean, that's the suck part of the industry. They
Yeah.
chew you up and spit you out when they're done, and then it's
Yeah.
like on to the next, on to the next one.
It does
Like,
suck. I mean, and I think it really takes away the opportunity for true artists and real good artists to get their shot because everybody's already
and that's
doing, they're wrapped up in whatever this little gimmick is. So everybody's paying attention to that instead of
that's the
actually
part
giving
that
good
I
artists.
don't like.
I
Like,
hate it. It sucks.
you have people out here like a Kendrick or like a J. Cole or I mean there's tons of other artists who they get overlooked because they're rapping straight bars and straight content like a
Mhm.
Amaretta
Yeah.
and or like
I
a
just came
Ali,
across something for it.
and yet you got the period ad
Yeah.
girl that's going trending, but you gotta also look at the way they're trying to make it seem. If they can make it seem that like, oh, you can just do a dumb thing and make money off of it, that's how the labels continue to make
Yeah.
money because you're not smart enough to read a contract. They're not gonna sign an Amaretta big time. They're not gonna sign a
Right.
Kendrick big time because why? They know their value. They know what they should be
Well,
deserved
and it's
and all
not
those
only
kinds
just
of things.
that,
So
yes, and because you got to go with the wave of what people want right now. So if people are wanting this gimmicky, whatever the case may be, situation, then they're going to invest in. Well, they don't even necessarily have to invest in those people because they'll take anything.
but they're not investing. They're making money off
That's
of
what I'm
it.
saying.
They taking
If they offer them
if
like,
anything.
okay, so like an Amaretta, right? You can't come to her with no shoddy deal. They can probably tell Island Boys, look, we'll give you 20 grand up front. Da 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 da. Here's your options, whatever. And the Island Boys are like, we just made a bag. We made 20 grand. We got signed. Whereas a true artist would be like, if you're not giving me multi-million dollars up front,
because they only gonna give you 20K up front, but then they gonna make 100K off you
they're
on the
making
back
off
end.
of your likeness. They're making everything. What was
360
I thought? What was it?
deals.
Jay talking about Ha Davis and how he didn't know, and then like he
Yeah.
was. That's insane. Like there should really be. There has to be more people on this planet really giving this game out because it's not that hard. For you to tell a young artist, hey man, make sure you read all the fine print because typically this is what happens. Yada yada yada. Break that down. What does that hurt you to pass that on? Because there's so many of these young
The
artists.
problems are we are passing that on, but they're so blinded by the bling and the money, they're
Yeah.
overlooking them because they say, "Hey, look, He gonna give you this
I'm gonna
bag.
make it do what it do.
I mean, look at Soulja Boy.
What
Soulja
up,
Boy talks
cuz?
about that all the time. He talks about how they came and gave him a deal at 18 when he was living in poverty.
Yeah.
His mom was struggling. He
That's
was
when
this.
they come get
So
you.
he signed that deal.
Drake.
He signed that deal
That's when
to
they come
be
get
able
you.
to get a bag to quote unquote take care of his family.
And that's what sucks. I mean, and how can you tell? How can you tell the young 18-year-old kid that's in the hood and struggling and trying to get out of the hood? How can you tell him not to take that bag and to invest in himself and wait? And how can you tell him that? Because that bag will immediately change his life. But now on the back end, you got to talk about X, Y, and Z. And I know a lot of times,
But how
don't
do you
nobody
want that
care
bag
about
to
that
change your
back
life?
end.
Do you want that bag to change your life and you owe somebody for the rest of your life? Because if you think about the Wu-Tang Clan, look at that decision that what's his name, Raekwon, that RZA made for
was
ODB.
it Dirty? Yeah.
If he would have let ODB take that,
oh, he would have been straight
his
forever.
kids and family. You know what I'm saying? So
I think in the long
it's
run,
just a-
in the
it's a
long
give and
run, he
take.
obviously ended up still being straight. Like his family still, I'm sure, is well taken
Because of
care of.
RZA.
Right, right.
But
But
had he not taken that deal, his family wouldn't
shit
have
him in
nothing.
hit.
Like
Yeah.
his son, who's young dirty bastard now, wouldn't be able
I
to
didn't
be.
know he had a. Is that real or you just made that
No,
up?
he had a son. He got like 13 kids.
I don't know why I didn't know that.
ODB got like 13 kids. Like,
And we sit there talking about
That's
Chris
crazy.
Brown or Nick Cannon.
you're right. Actually, let me tell you how many
On
kids.
the ODB, as you can see. Shout out to my cousin Shay, Satisfying Creations. You will actually be seeing the Hotspot ran tomorrow featuring Satisfying Creations. If you haven't heard of Satisfying
Oh, he
Creations,
had
please
3.
go look
Why
her
did
up.
he have more?
Yeah, I don't know why you adding the one to
No,
that
they
joint.
definitely. Okay, so for Young Dirty Bastard, real name Barshawn Unique Jones. It's hard living outside his father's shadow. Being the eldest of 13, he does have 13 kids.
Does Mama have 13 kids?
I don't know.
Mama's out there.
It says he encompassed. I mean, but he did.
On the ODB, as you
Love,
can see.
like pop them out. It only names 3
Cool.
of
Nathaniel,
them.
if you're still on here, I got
but
it.
nobody
It
really
came
knew how many he had. They don't know if it was 7 or 13 or 3, but
he had 73 13 kids.
literally, he had a lot.
73
Yeah.
13 kids.
But yeah, it just depends, and everybody's circumstances are different. And,
Yeah.
I just want people to understand their worth. And, I was just having this conversation with 2 young folks yesterday. And I know y'all, we're starting very early, into
we usually
the show.
don't dive deep into
we don't
the
normally,
Sometimes you have to though. I
but
feel
we
like
get to
today
the
is going to
nitty-gritty.
be full of game because I think there's a lot of young cats and there's a young I think these days the younger they are, the more hungry they are, the worse pretty much, because it's like they're taking everybody's trying to eat and everybody's going to get the bag however they can get the bag. And that's why we're having so much of a disparity in good content. Everybody's just putting stuff out to put stuff out because consistency these days, quantity over quality these days is what's making you a bag. Unfortunately,
it's somewhat making you a bag. I feel like they've done this like Jedi mind trick with like the youth of showing them, hey, you can make a quick get rich scheme by posting it on YouTube or TikTok or all these things. But what people are failing to realize is, they're paying you $5,000 after 6 months, but they've already made $5 million off of you, so they're only giving you back what you've made them.
That's the crappy part.
That's the crappy part. But it's like, if you had more people who understood our worth and our integrity, they take those highlighted people of ghetto hood and all of this, and they take them and they tell their stories to make other people think that that's a way to sell money. But what they fail to realize is, and we've talked about this before, if they were really still doing those things, their social security numbers wouldn't be active. They wouldn't have these multi-million-dollar deals because they're incriminating, or they wouldn't be signed to a label. However, they feed it to the youth as if, oh yeah, I'm still out here thugging, I'm still out here trapping. But it's like, he's under contract. He's not trapping. He's lying to you. He's selling you a facade so that you can go out there and think that you can trap, and you can go to jail, and you get trapped into going into jail, telling on your homeboys, telling the crimes that you committed.
There's
it's a Ponzi scheme.
That's what I don't like about the fact that like rappers like Gunna, rappers like National Basketball Association, Young Boy, and all of these cats who are legit going to jail and selling more records than anybody when they put something out from the block. Like, how is that even a thing where that's possible? Because now you got to look at the examples, right? And this is why I can't fault young cats for doing what they're doing. I just wish I could be, I wish I could be someone who could break that mold, because they're following what is working or the illusion of working, right?
Yeah.
So just like if you watch the XXX Temptation documentary,
Oh, he has a
he was
documentary?
being, oh yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. He was being evil, right? He was being the devil. He said that. He's like, I just want to be the devil and this, that, and the other. And that was working for him. And it was getting him all this kind of, getting him all his fame and whatever, whatever. But at a certain point, it started to really pull on his soul. And he realized that his older, cats was breaking it down to him, like, you can't do this. Like, you can't be this, but there's no longevity in this. So right before he passed, he had started to kind of reconcile that and start to realize that you don't need to be out here hurting people or wanting to hurt people or wanting to be
And look
evil.
what happened to him.
Right. So there's so many examples in the world right now for these young cats of like, just go get it. Don't matter what nobody else say. F the world. Go get the bag. Chase it, chase it, chase it. And there's everybody who's trying to give positive influence out or speak some true wisdom is not being listened to or not being promoted as the top in the field anymore, like they were when and I can't even say Big was really.
That's the Jedi mind trick, right?
Right.
If you can make those people look lower or less than, nobody's gonna want to be like them.
No.
They want to be like and I'm not calling them
Don't
empty
nobody want to hear no
airheads.
real shit.
They want to be like the empty airheads. But what people are failing to realize is they can make more money off of you if you're an empty airhead and you have no substance and you will do whatever for that dollar. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves and knowing how much they can make. On those labels, the reason why their albums are getting spent so much is because the companies are dishing out thousands of dollars to promote that single. That's why if you listen to the radio, they're playing the same songs 87,000 times. They're getting spins. Yeah. They have their music registered to where they're getting credit for it.
Yeah.
The problem with the younger generation, they're not registering their music. They're just putting it out there and letting people play it. You want to get your song heard on the radio, but you don't even have it registered with ASCAP, CSEC, BMI.
That's just like YouTube.
So it's not,
you get all these YouTube views, but your YouTube isn't monetized. So yeah, you might have 1 million views, which 1 million views on YouTube is only getting you like less than $1, I believe. So like people think these numbers and this notoriety. I think people are, I won't say people, young people, or people who haven't studied this game yet, they equate notoriety with success.
Yep.
Just because you're known, or even if you're so-called famous, that doesn't make you successful, and that bag does not equate unless you have.
Crackheads was famous in the hood, and they were still crackheads.
Everybody knew Bobo.
Everybody
knew him.
But his life
didn't mean he was.
And I'm gonna give y'all one bit of free game, and I think I've given this out before, but I'm gonna give it out again. Okay. Instead of you posting on YouTube, getting all these subscribers, whatever, I'd highly encourage you to buy a website domain, get your own website, and post your videos to your own website and drive all the traffic to your website. Right. At least you own all of that database, you own all of that traffic, and then you can sell that traffic to other sites and other sources to be able to monetize your own website versus going through YouTube. That's just a little bit of game. And if you need someone to help you build your website and stuff like that, you can hit up 3JS Creative Crew. We build websites, we host them, we do the whole layout and everything for you. But that's the more smarter way. But they don't talk about that because they want people to go to YouTube, because YouTube wants people to go to YouTube.
And just so y'all don't be like, but y'all are on YouTube. Okay, yes, we are, but that goes
selectively.
That goes through our website and our app and so we have those things. And what it comes down to for you, what you really need to realize is these, and I'm gonna do a shameless plug with 9397 Network. These sites don't promote you.
No, they don't.
Your stuff lives on their site, but they do not promote you. So you're not going to see YouTube being like, hey, this is the person of the week that you need to follow, and like put you out there. And there isn't a For You page necessarily. I mean, there is, but you got to do a lot to get on that front page or whatever. And then, let's be
Mhm.
honest, when you click on YouTube and you go to look at something, you see these videos that they're suggesting for you. How many of those are you actually watching?
Thank you.
None, really, right?
Thank you.
So if you're not gonna promote yourself and you're not going to invest in yourself and put the sweat equity into promoting yourself, then your numbers are not going to rise. There's nowhere you're going to put your music that is just going to fly up the charts. Hell, not even with us. We can promote you all day long, but if you're not promoting yourself and if you're not putting in the sweat equity into your own brand and your own music or your own videos or movies or whatever it is, nobody's going to push you like you should be pushing.
Nobody who can
Honestly.
push you like that's a commercial. Who can push you like me? Nobody.
93.
Who gonna play
Ryan
your
Leslie,
song
yes,
all day?
perfect. That's a perfect example. Where Ryan Leslie is one that
I love Ryan
I
Leslie.
love
That
him.
is
I
a
don't know
good
where
time
he went.
spam.
I don't know where
Listen.
he went, but I was addicted.
If you say Ryan to JJ, I'm like, that's my
girl,
girl. Like,
I know he's
But-
still doing producing and writing and
but
all that, but
dudes
I wish
like
he would come out
that
with more music
will
himself.
forever live, and
They
that's
will-
what people don't understand. When you think about a Ryan
He's
Leslie,
one that we need to
a
get
Swiss
on
beat,
the
like
show where we're doing. We need to get him on the show
yeah,
for sure.
because people like that
For
forever
sure.
live, and that's just it. Just goes into
Longevity.
everyone's journey. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Everybody doesn't want to do
I
anything.
always
for
tell
longevity,
everybody
and that's
too.
Okay.
I tell everybody right now, if you don't know about Russ and LaRussell. So
I
Ryan
love
Leslie, Russ, and
Yep.
LaRussell.
Mm-hmm.
Look at those three men and the way they approach the game, and it's unstoppable. It's unbeatable. Now, I would garner to say none of those three men would be technically, to me, mainstream because you don't hear them being well. Russ actually gets his spins.
But
Russ
he gets his
his
spins
spins.
now
Yeah,
because
now.
he's been able to place his advertising
Yeah.
dollars in positions. But when he first started off,
You didn't
he
hear.
did
I
not.
don't even
He
remember. I found
argued
Russ
and
on
fought
Instagram.
so many times
But
because
still,
of that reason.
Okay, now that he's in the machine, right? He's in the cog of
But he's
being
still
mainstream.
Not. They don't like.
But here's what I'm saying: when he did that track with Ed Sheeran, he was saying on his Instagram, he's like, "It cost me $1 million to get this song out," and da 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 da. And I'm like, see, that's the really shitty part. Still, like you have the $1 million to put your song out, but now you're still being forced to spend $1 million to get your song.
But here's
blown up.
the flip side. He spent that $1 million out of pocket to where he
What's up,
never
Billionaire
owes
Bossy?
anybody for that track.
Facts. Everything's
the
coming
label
back
will
to
put
him.
that money up.
He's gonna
and you
get
will
it back.
Be in the hole.
He's
for
gonna get that
8
money back
years.
tenfold, which is
Yeah.
great. But I for some reason, for me, I just always have been. I'm someone I've always wished that the world worked the way of if you have that talent, you put in that work, you've done this, you've done that, then it comes back to you. So
it does on
maybe if
Hot 93.
Yes, facts. I can see if he spent $1 million on his visual and on his distro and on his this, that, and the other thing, and maybe that's what he was talking about. But to me, I'm thinking he had to pay this company to give him spins or that company to give him spins.
It probably was a collective of everything.
Probably.
Like of paying
Which
extra for
sucks.
the feature and that. But does it suck? I'd rather pay that fee out of pocket
Yeah.
to be able to recoup
because
it
you know you're getting it all back, which is
instead
great.
of being in the negative of that and you
Facts.
having to work for free to pay that
Yeah.
back. Because that's what happened to what's the group? Outkast. They owe
Yeah.
that label all that money. That's what's going on with Megan Thee Stallion.
That's what's going
She
on
can't
with
put-
everybody.
They can't
So
put
put
out
it this
because
way.
they start itemizing and adding stuff
Oh,
onto
man.
your bill that
And
you
that's
will
the
never
crazy
pay
part
off.
about it, and that's what I'm saying. The crazy part
Right.
about it is it's not like anything has been hidden from anybody in the industry at all ever. So my thing is, it's almost the same as, okay, since we love Dahmer so much, how did Dahmer keep getting victims when everybody knew he was a shady dude and was drugging people? So it's like, how are these record companies still getting these cats to buy into the bullshit?
Because you still got
Left,
somebody
right,
who
left,
believes,
right.
oh, it's not going to happen
I'm
to me.
different.
I'm
I'm different
different.
than they are. And then what happens? They end up 10 years later on a Behind the Music or a Where Are You Now talking about, I just got out of my deal, or I finally just ran out that final option album, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I really think it ruins a lot of great artists. I think it ruins a lot of love for the
you're creating-
game.
Look what
It
it did
sucks.
to Lil Wayne.
Look
Great
what it did to
example.
Lupe.
I mean, even Lupe.
It ruined Lupe.
I mean, I'm saying that because we all waited years for the
Oh,
Carter
God,
5.
yeah.
And you can tell in the Carter 5, the first couple of tracks were what he recorded right after the Carter 4.
Yeah.
But then you can tell the fillers that he just started doing over the years because he lost his motivation and he just had to put out an album. It started to suck.
Yeah.
Like
even like Taylor Swift had to put out the redone album. And
and
I didn't like really any of those songs versus the other ones.
And she hasn't really been able to put out new music.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it's just like,
So in the long run,
and I hate
guess,
to always bring it up, but y'all know, pay name. That's what I think Kanye is doing. I honestly think that he is trying to get out of all of his contracts because he realized how valuable and how much he was spending. Sway had the answers. So what people don't realize is when you get these contracts, you can't just cancel your contract because then you're at fault and you have to pay out. They own you. But if they say, oh no, we're cutting ties with him, we're making the contract null and void, he gets his percentage back completely of his company. Think about how much he was giving out.
I mean, that's a really good conspiracy theory. And I like, you know what? I would like to stick to that thought. And I hope that, say he's got 2 years left or whatever. Hope at the end of those 2 years, he's been compiling like crazy dope music and just waiting to drop the craziest,
so that he can get the credit. Because no matter what, Yeezys are still selling. Hello. Oh, what's up, Grown Up Mutant? Yeezys are still selling. Like they're always gonna sell.
Did you hear the store he's planning now? See, here's the thing with but here's the thing. So he's talking about opening a store in Chicago and having his Yeezys and his shirts and all that stuff be $20. I know you ain't doing that, bro. I know you're not doing that. It could be old backstock. He ain't doing that.
Yeezy stuff.
He's not doing that.
We don't know that.
I would like to. Okay, let me put this out there in the universe. At some point, when all of these things in the universe comes into, and everything lines up, and I'm making lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of bucks, that is one way I will be giving back. I'll be giving promotion and helping distribute young artists and get them out there, not in the ways that these record companies do. I'm not taking all their money. I'm not taking all their earnings. That's
what we're doing with the U Store.
That's what I'm saying.
With the U Store and the hot spot.
That's all I want to do. An artist should be able to flourish as an artist without having to sell his soul or give every bit of his money to anybody. Yes. Thank you. Like, I just don't believe in that. I just don't believe in that. I feel like if you got a talent and you work on your craft and you dedicate yourself to it and you're working your ass off constantly, I feel like you should be able to just put your music out and get paid for your it's just like going out to the street and street performing, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anybody anything besides getting that permit to perform, like at the 3rd Street Promenade down in LA. You have to get a permit to perform and you have to pay for that spot, right? Mm-hmm. That should be the only thing coming out of your pocket. Is you paying for that venue or that location. Everything else you make should go into your pocket. So,
and I think that's why
that's not too hard. I don't think
shows and people like us is needed in this society because we're bringing back the fundamentals. And no matter what anyone want to say, has to say, when you take that route and you take the harder route, it's a greater reward, it's a greater payoff, and your success is more longevity. When I look at Angie Martinez, right, and she's laid the foundation for women in the radio world and just being an icon and just laying down foundations, it's always been the foundation of music, giving back, bringing on, highlighting. She's never been with the bells and whistles of the trends and all those kinds of things because we've always said where there's a trend, there's a trap. So as much as people want to be notarized and seen, notoriety and scenery does not allow you to cash that in at the bank.
Right.
And that's what people fail to realize. We've all been trying to keep up with the Joneses, but everybody's broke.
Well, who are the Joneses?
I don't know. What I mean? I want to know who are the Joneses.
That's like people when they say they. The Joneses are some illustrious people that don't even exist, yo.
King Native said people nowadays just don't speak real or truth. That's why I rock with you guys.
I appreciate that,
exactly.
King.
And
that's all
like,
we're trying to do, man.
I feel like the more we have these conversations and the more people get to understand us, there's more underdogs in this world than people really realize.
And look,
like
what I always say is, why are the underdogs not the mainstream? Because
we're the underdogs don't take no crap. You can't make money off of an underdog.
Because check it out. Here's how it goes. Let me break it down. because of, and I hate to always systemic this and that, blah, 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 but the way things have been set up from the start, and I'm not even just talking about race. I'm not talking about we're black people and this, that, and the other thing. I'm talking about in general. It's been set up to where you're supposed to look up to the rich, the famous, the people that got it, and you're supposed to try to get to them, right? You're supposed to beg for their grace, beg for their mercy, and hope they bring you up to where they're at, right? When in reality, where we're at is where it's real at. Once you get to that spot, what do? You talk to the people in this position. You try to sell things to the people in our position. We are the ones that run the world. We are the status quo.
Who won the world?
We do. The underdogs do. We all, there's more of us than there are the 1%. There's 99% of us down here.
So
right?
Last night I was literally going through this, and it's so crazy that we're having this conversation today because I literally looked this up last night.
My friend.
I was explaining to the same young folk I was talking to the class level, right, and how it plays on people's mentals and decisions, right? Yes. So Democrats are supposed to be what for the middle class, right? What people don't understand is the average person is not even middle class,
right?
So, and I looked up the class level. So lower middle class is anywhere from 32,000 to 53,000 a year.
Facts.
Middle class is 53 to 106,000, and then upper class is 106 to 373,000. So the average person is not even in the lower middle class making per year.
Not at all.
So therefore they are bamboozled easily by the government assistance and this and that in the back because they're chasing a goal of money. But if you chased your passion and we, went to school and all those things and we let go of some of these government loans, you can get financial aid to go to school, to get a degree, to get a job or a career, and not just a job or a hobby. But those are conversations that people don't want to have.
Yeah, because
which makes people uncomfortable.
I think these days it's because people, like I said, like it's everybody wants the quick fixed.
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh, you're gonna give me, I'll take that 20 G's because I can do today, right? And everybody believes in themselves. Everybody believes in themselves a little too much sometimes because they think, okay, if I just had that 20K and I took care of this, and this, then everything else will fall into place, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I go, we have to stop thinking of the next thing that's going to happen and the illusion that once we handle that next thing, like nothing else is ever going to happen again, right? Because what usually happens? Something happens, you get through it, and then the next thing is on its way. It's not, your whole life isn't going to be fixed by this one situation that you're in now being fixed, even though you're like, God, please let me get out of this and I'll never do X, Y, and Z again, or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like 3 weeks later, there's something else coming for you. So regardless if you believe in the fact that you don't know when you're going to pass and you got YOLO, I got to do everything right now, chances are you're not going to pass away.
Lazy.
You're going to be around still, and it's going to suck just as bad as it did a month from now, even if you got that 20K. And I can tell you this from experience. And here's how I can tell you this. I got out of the military. And I went down to LA. Just decided, you know what, I'm gonna give this music thing a shot. I've always wanted to live in LA. I got this money from school and whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go down there and give it a shot. I was there for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and I went on Wayne Brady's game show, Let's Make a Deal. I won 20 grand on Let's Make a Deal. Right? $20,000. Little do you know, you don't get that money right away. You don't get that money until the show airs.
The taxes on that money?
There was no taxes because it was from the Publishers Clearinghouse, so it was a gift.
Okay.
So I ended up getting that money like 6 months later, and I'm like, my life is set. I got $20,000 now. I'm good to go. I'll never be broke again. I went to the grocery store that day and bought $500 worth of groceries I didn't even need, just to ball out everything I looked at that I thought I might want.
Just to say I got groceries.
Just to say I can. Don't even tell me how much it costs, lady. Just ring my stuff up.
Ring me up.
I went and balled out, had a good time, was doing my thing. I wanted to live that life of not having to look at the price tags, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. I go back to LA. I came home to my hometown. I went to Chicago. I went to Hawaii. I was traveling. You know what I mean? I had a great time.
You was living my life like it's golden.
I had a great time. But guess what happened when I got home after that 2 weeks? I had like $800 left in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And a week later, I was broke again.
Yep.
So
Yep.
unless you have some kind of really big investment opportunity that you're sure is going to be lucrative and you need that 20K to start it and it's going to last a long time and it's an ongoing recurring thing coming into your pocket, that little bit of money ain't going to do nothing but get spent.
And that's what people don't understand. Just because you have money, if you don't have a way to continue to get it,
you can't double
you're
it.
gonna be broke. If you can't double it, they technically say you're only supposed to live off of 10% of your income.
Facts.
The average person cannot live off of 10% of their income. And when I say 10% of your income, that means if you get paid $1,000 a week, right? That means you are only supposed to live off of $100.
Mm-hmm.
900 of it is supposed to go in savings.
Facts.
Who's living off of $100 a week?
Nobody. But that's how we should, and that goes to us, us that aren't in the 1% of the richest in the world, right? So technically, that's how you're supposed to live if you want to be financially comfortable.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, F that. I'm trying to live my life,
I'm trying to
Plus,
live in my
on top of that, not even just saying that we're too, we're emotional spenders and can't hold money. Everything's expensive.
Yeah, I mean the price
Life
is gone
expensive.
Up.
If you are a single human being making that kind of money, living by yourself, you have no kids, you have no significant other, you can do that.
You know what I don't understand is why do people who don't have kids be broke? Why y'all broke?
Y'all be at the bar, y'all be popping
what y'all
bottles.
Buying? Crack, drugs?
Let me borrow 50.
Cause I gotta buy diapers, milk, cereal,
slacks.
Did you know kids can never say snack?
Right.
Can I have a slacks? So I gotta buy slacks, diapers, wipes, milk. What y'all buying? What y'all money with no kids? What y'all doing?
I know.
Why y'all ain't got no businesses?
I know everybody's struggle is different, but I'm telling you right now, if you haven't been through the things that I've been through and you complain about anything in the same realm of things that I've been through, some of the worst things of, I'm like, just knock it off, because you're at this point you just want to be pissed off.
Be like ice water, knock it off.
For real.
Remember I said that?
Our life is at least us here in America that I know of. We're all so stuck on being miserable, and it's like the status quo. Everybody just wants to find something to complain about all the time. I bet you do it too. I guarantee you more often than not, if you really thought about it, you don't have to stress or be mad about a lot of the things you are.
I don't, but I don't spend a lot of time on it either.
I'm not saying you do.
Yeah,
it's just normal. It's just normal everyday practice.
What up, 215?
Like to say wake up in the morning and just smile all day long. Just be happy all day long. Everybody's like, yeah, okay. Who does that? Well, I mean, we could. You could literally wake up and be like, even when the baby's pooping on you and somebody's, you could still be like, this is great. I have kids and I'm this, and I woke up this morning and I'm just blessed to be here.
But I don't like them kids.
Yeah, I don't like them
either.
Kidding. FTK, you know what I always say.
I'm just kidding.
Point being is, our society is so driven towards being angry first or irritated first or sad first, or like the negative connotations to life take over so often that it's really hard to think of the positive ways to do anything in life. If we all started with the positive side, then all of these things that end up compiling don't seem so bad at that point.
Yeah, and I also think that it just goes back into everybody grasping the idea of originality. Yeah. Right? Like, be okay with being different. Be okay with standing out. Be okay with not going with the flow just because everyone else is doing said thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is okay. And I get some of it is just purely for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
TikTok dance comes out. Okay, I want to copy the TikTok dance. Okay, boom. But we've all seen this play out time and time again. The stories behind these lives are not what people
near what
think that they are.
Well,
you know
I think
what I'm saying?
too,
it's nowhere near close.
I think too, being different became the cool thing to do. So now everybody's trying to be different, and in turn now everybody's the same again. So it's like everybody tried to be so different and stand out that standing out and trying to be different is now the wave.
Yeah.
Now
People
that's
trying
the
to be
cool
different
thing
because they're
now.
like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go to Dairy Queen. I'm gonna go to Queen Dairy because I'm
Uh-huh.
different. Bro, you
Now
ain't
guess
did
what?
nothing but had
Everybody's at
dyslexia,
Queen Dairy.
and you had dyslexia, and you thought it was Dairy Queen and Queen Dairy the whole time, and that's why
The
you
whole
created that.
time.
Like, come on, boy, really
The
be
whole
different.
time. So I'm going to be different and not be different and be the same as I always am. And
I'm gonna keep it real,
I'm gonna
trill,
keep it
100.
100.
We're gonna give back to the ones who we think
yeah,
deserve to give
that's
back,
it.
the ones who are slept on, because people are
That's
so
it.
quick to forget the ones who laid down the foundation just because the person that's in front of the
Some
mic.
dudes.
You know what I'm saying? And we've always been that type of people. Like,
Always.
listen, I will let somebody take all the credit. Take the
You
credit,
can
baby.
have it.
I don't care. You can
You can
have the
have
credit
it.
because you know why? At the end of the day, it's
Mm.
still coming into the same place.
Factory.
That's what people don't understand.
Look,
okay?
I'm always down to give all the love and all the credit in the world and all the shout out. Growing Up Mutant, holla, y'all are two of my
Hi, Growing
favorite
Up
people on
Mutant.
the
What's up?
planet.
2
Mary
1K
Jane
again.
4593.
Harper's Vending.
Nathaniel
What's up,
Souls has
Tom?
been on here the whole time, and we will be playing some of Nathaniel Souls' music.
Hi, Nathaniel.
Not
You
today.
Nathaniel. You Nate.
Oh man, you are late.
Baloney Dip.
Yeah.
Where
What's
you
wrong
been,
with
Baloney
you?
Dip?
What is wrong with you?
Where you
know
been?
what?
Where you been? But
Slacking,
yeah,
bro.
I think that's the problem that we fail to realize in this genre. And that's why for the last couple of months I've been saying I want to put together a dog team, because when you have a team and when you continue to
We'll
look
get Michael
at
Beck to be the manager.
not Michael Vick.
Hey man, he's back in good standings now. He's a guy he's on TV and everything.
But when you look at any great successors or any great brand or company or label, they've all had great teams.
Yeah.
When you look at a president, they all have a great campaign team. You have to have a great campaign team to push you.
Yeah.
So therefore, if this person is good in marketing and working the streets, that's their area. If this person is perfect in speaking, that's their area. If this person is good on the digital and the technology, that's their area. But everybody's working together for a common goal.
Yep.
When you think about Def Jam when they first came out, and Rockefeller and all, they had a whole house of teams of people getting them together. Even when you look at athletes, that's why they have
everybody's got a
managers,
team.
road managers.
I try to explain that to people all the time, and the fact that I hate when the whole independent movement, right? Like my company is called Independent Luxury, right? But that doesn't mean, I don't mean that to say one person, right? Because no matter what you do on this earth, you will never do anything alone.
Nothing.
When you're born, it's already null and void. You need somebody to feed you, to bathe you, to wipe your booty,
your tushy,
everything, right? So even if you did say F the world and you solely by yourself got to somewhere of prominence, before you were that, somebody got you to where you were. So be humble in that. And I can't remember who it was.
Be humble.
My kids say Liamo.
It does sound like
that's
it's
neither here nor there. I can't remember what rich person said it, but there's a quote out there somewhere in the world. It probably was Pay. Somewhere in the world that said, I'm not really good at anything. I'm not that smart. But what I did was I found the smartest and most capable people that I needed to do the things that I couldn't do. And I built that team.
Was it Warren Buffett? Because that's all he does.
It might have been.
I don't understand why people are always like, oh my God, Warren Buffett is so great. I'm not knocking the man. What have he created?
He's a great team builder. He knows how to put together a squad.
He knows how to say, hey, I got the money. You go out and do this. I'm sorry. Warren Buffett has not physically or done or created anything, but he's also one of the richest, wisest men in the world. So, I mean, hey, Papa.
Smoke Jones says, I was born with a job and 3 kids alone.
You just got that job by yourself. So, okay.
Alone.
But yeah, like Warren Buffett, he doesn't single-handedly create anything, but he knows that, okay, if I create myself and surround myself by people who have a good team and know how to manage money and market money, that's a niche for me to make money.
Right.
But like you said, everybody wants that whole doozy of, I did it by myself. Nobody helped me.
Of course you eat bologna dip alone because nobody else wants to eat that.
Don't nobody want none of that bologna dip.
Just like, so us, for instance, I know we come in here and just in case there's any of y'all out there that are like, well, who the hell are y'all to say? Princess and I sit here every single day,
all day,
during our production meetings, post-production, pre-production.
We have pre-production
on
meetings,
show production,
on show in our heads before we talk to each other.
Facts all day long, and we're talking to each other about who can do what and what do you think about this and what do you think you can do this better? Okay, you do that better, so you do that, and I'm gonna do this and da 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 da, and we
Does your
conquer and
system work
divide.
better here? And then okay, so your system works better
Man,
here, and then we can do that to make
we
it
edited
faster. Like,
we edited a show on like 7 different platforms,
man,
just to see what's better and who does more efficiently and da da. So it stopped worrying about having that clout of doing everything by yourself and worrying so much about being independent and da 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 da.
and nothing and no one is
Build
perfect.
a team.
Build a team.
Build a team.
And that's what we're working on. We're working on building a team
Yes.
of like-minded individuals. But it's very hard
Thank you, Smug.
because in this day and age, there are so many people who just want to be the David Ruffin, right?
Yeah.
But what David Ruffin didn't realize was if it wasn't for your backup singers and your background dancers, David
Facts.
Ruffin cannot stand alone.
Facts.
So the Temptations was the actual group. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So as much as people want to be the David Ruffins, you have to know how to be a Temptation
Right.
in order to be a David Ruffin or a single
Facts.
individual. And people don't know how to be team players. That is also why, what's up, Ayo Tonio?
Ayo.
Or Ayo, I think that's it.
Ayo.
Ayo Yonio. I'm bad at names, but I see you. Hi, and I waved.
You in
Um,
here.
That's why when places hire you and they say, "Are you a team player?" I don't care where you are. If you're a server
Gotta
at
be.
McDonald's, working at a grocery store,
gotta
restaurant,
be.
whatever, are you a team player? Can you communicate to the other
Gotta
employees
be.
that you work with what they're lacking, what you're lacking to be able to make our establishment grow?
Right.
If no, you're fired.
You gotta get out. So
You're fired.
that's a perfect being 2K. We're talking 2K has a show, The Honest Truth, and it's a sports show. Stop through the show, love, don't mention, talk to you later. All right, growing up mutant. Hey, I'm gonna hit y'all up soon. Let me know next time y'all are going live. I'll hop on there and say what up. So 2K and I were talking, and he has the sports show, The Honest Truth, and we were talking about superstars and team players and all that. And I was saying, like the 04 Detroit Pistons. They were all. It was a team full of team players.
Yes.
And look how incredible that team
Yes.
was.
I heard that conversation.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
So I
heard
would
that.
never want a superstar to come in
No.
because your team and your establishment in your city might want a superstar to come in because that's going to sell tickets, that's going to sell jerseys, that's going to get people in the seats, yada yada yada, right? But if you have 5 incredible team players on one squad, you will get a championship brought to your city.
So now
Not
when you
just
think
some
about that,
cash.
think about every star player who has not known how to play a team player.
Mhm.
They don't have rings.
They don't got rings.
When you
Right.
think about a Chris Paul, he
Now-
learned how to be a team player in his
now
later
again-
years. It was too
again,
late.
What do
Rustic.
you want as a player? Dude, he's a legend. He's probably
He's a
gonna be
legend.
Hall of Fame. He's successful. He's all out, right?
But when I call you, he can't hear because he ain't got no
he
ring.
ain't got no ring. All dial tone, no ring. But had he I mean, Chris, he's not really a good example though, because even though he is a star player, I
Okay,
don't
Russell
think
Westbrook.
there you go. That's a
He
better
wants to
example.
be a
He wants to be
top
the
player.
number one.
No matter
I
what
gotta
people
be
want
known
to say
as
about
the
Bron,
I'm
Bron knows
the
how to be
guy.
a team player. Bron
Yeah.
was a team player for multiple teams and did it and
Yeah.
won multiple rings. and his
Bron had a
hometown
lot
went
of
down
struggle. He had a lot of struggle trying
Come
to
on,
build
bro.
a squad.
there. Yo, I saw this training video of LeBron and I swore it was edited, but it so was not. That
Going
man workout ethic is impeccable.
Man.
I would even say up to Kobe, his workout ethic,
Dang.
he beat Kobe in workout ethic.
Wow.
I saw this man jump into a deep end pool and jumped out the pool and landed on
Ooh.
the edge,
Hmm.
like in a squat
He is a
position
freak of
and
nature.
stood up.
He is a
like,
physical freak of nature.
I
will
never
say
seen
that. I'll
anybody
give
do
you
that. And at first I watched the video so many times because I wanted to see if they like rewinded the video to like for him to like jump in and just rewind it.
Right.
But you can see like the squat of him coming up and lifting his legs that he literally jumped from underwater.
Ooh.
Now I gotta find it. I
My
gotta find
back
it and
hurt.
show y'all.
My back hurt just talking about that.
Like it
Ooh.
was crazy. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to.
So we say all that to say this. It's more important to have a team than anything else. And we here at 9397 Network are all about squad, man. So if you're somebody who's hungry and you just want to work and you think you have something valuable to bring to a team like ours, please hit us up.
Please
Also,
call me mate, if you want to reach me.
anybody you guys know who is a musician, who is a rapper, who is a guitar player, who's a singer songwriter, who's in anything that of skill that you think would benefit from being promoted through our station, please let me know. The U Store is the place for artists like that, man. I'm not trying to get all in people's pockets. I'm not trying to. All I want to do is help promote the best artists on the planet.
Lips smelling.
She said I went over to Princess's Live and she doesn't think she knows it's me from my IG name. Oh, 2N Jen. Is that what you're trying to say? That's Aoife.
Yeah, 2N Jen. Oh, that's Aoife. Definitely did. I'm like Jen.
Yeah, that's Aoife.
I thought her page would have said like Eve. Like
no,
Aoife.
I called. That's the nickname I gave her.
Gotcha.
I gave her that a while ago.
Okay.
Smoke. If you said me as far as you want to be a part of the squad or you want your music promoted on the U Store, absolutely, bro.
Smoky baloney.
You are not only just Good Times fam. You are legitimately like my big brother. Like I've known Smoke since I was a young buck. That's family for real. For real.
Woo! All right, man.
Dang.
I ain't never been in something this like.
Those shoes tough.
Man, check out this old man.
Y'all, I'm about to show y'all this. I'm uploading it to the StreamYard so that people on StreamYard can see this video. Because when I tell you, this man is impeccable.
He's a freak of nature.
It made me jealous. Like, should I hit the gym hard like that?
My back would blow up.
Like,
if I try to do that. If I'm imagining what you're talking about, my back would explode.
Like, okay, y'all. So if you guys are watching on StreamYard, you guys can see the video of LeBron. If you guys are not watching on StreamYard, I will post it onto my Instagram so that you guys can see it later on the 9397 network. But watch this video of Lebanon James.
916 Rockstar. What's good?
Workout.
All right, man. I ain't never been in something this like.
Those shoes tough.
Man, check out this old man. Come on. What? Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
You can't be serious right now.
No way.
LeBron 20s. Need I say more?
Show off.
No.
And I zoomed in.
All right, man. I ain't never been in something this like.
Those shoes tough.
Man, check out this old man. Come on. What? Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
You can't be serious right now.
No way.
LeBron 20s. Need I say more?
Show off.
It's gotta be fake. Okay, if y'all, oh man, see now, okay, I'm gonna post this 916 Rockstar. I'm gonna post this to my page. I'm gonna post this to my page later, and let me know what y'all think. I'm sure y'all have seen that too. But 916 Rockstar, y'all haven't heard of this guy? He is crazy talented.
I'm a rock star.
Crazy talented. He sent me his music, DM me his music, and was like, check me out. Let me know what you think. And I was like, I'm appalled that I didn't hear you on the radio somewhere, or like you're just sending me a DM. Like, I love it. I love that you're sending me this DM, but I don't know how somebody as talented as you ain't like.
Somebody ain't stolen.
It's crazy. Like it's insane. So, Melly Mel B in the building. We need to talk. I meant to call you today. We actually have to talk.
Okay.
ASAP. We got good news for you.
My husband said Princess needs to get her gym game up. I said anybody can do that.
Anybody, easy peasy, loser.
I can definitely do that. Let me do like 3 sit-ups and I got it.
No, my back would explode. I'm sorry.
I don't even know if I can jump in. Well, I could jump up and do like what's those?
Not out the pool like that.
Not at the pool. I'm talking about like straight on the ground.
I can't even do that no more. Y'all don't understand.
Oh, you can do like
look,
a jump
don't
tap.
let the young face fool you and the nice, you know what I'm saying? Don't let all this fool you. From like the titties down, my body's messed up. My back is so. I was telling my wife, I don't know if you noticed the other night we were standing here talking. My back like legit blew out. I almost fell.
What?
I played it off so smooth.
When?
I played it off when we were having our production meeting and standing here before I went to the gym.
Your back blew out.
Oh yeah, I guess I was laughing too hard or something, and I almost legitimately fell, but I played it off like I was laughing.
Oh my goodness! No,
I was like, yeah, let me waddle to the car. I gotta go to the gym.
I did not know that.
It's bad, y'all. It's real bad.
That is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens. But I still went to the gym and I still got it in, so we was good.
That's very terrible. I'm really sorry.
No, it's
that
all
that
good.
happened.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm really sorry that happened.
Man, yeah, I
hope
got
you
some.
can. I hope you can get that fixed.
I got some bosses in the room right now.
29. Hey, thanks for tuning in to our live.
So
I'm trying to
U
figure out
Store
how to-
Presents will be happening. I'm trying to get it going soon, but what happened was the artist I needed some clean music, and they didn't have clean music prepared yet. So actually, 916 Rockstar, we need to talk. Maybe we should do a U Store Presents on you soon, ASAP. Any other artists that you guys know that you would like to see on a highlight segment, get some real promotion and some real love like they should be getting, please let me know. I want to start going ASAP and like just pushing these artists, pushing. I got you, Nathaniel Souls. We will definitely be doing one for sure.
Phantom Soul.
He said I specialize in clean music. Bet.
Hey. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know what a lot of these artists feel they have to curse. And look, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Hey, talk
it's
your
the
talk.
wave.
Do your
gotta
big,
be hard.
Do your big dirty. But you ain't gotta cuss in order to be like a good rapper.
Will
like cursing
Smith didn't have to cuss in his
you...
raps to sell records, but I do. So him and you too. You think I give a damn about a Grammy? I mean, critics didn't even stomach me. Let alone
it doesn't make you a great rapper. No, like people feel like, oh, if you cuss, that was a dope bar. Like, bro, that was trash.
It's a little bit of a crutch. I mean, I do sometimes. But yeah, that's why I'm breaking the cycle. I love that.
But it's a hit or a miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you curse, like okay. But some people are like will curse and then like just look at you and be like, that bar was fire. Like the curse word like solidified.
I don't do it egregiously by any means. Like I don't necessarily have to, and that's because I'm lyrical heavy. You know what I mean? Like I focus on my lyricals.
A chat life listener said, "Ask Kujo, can he jump off the couch like that?"
Hell no. Look, wait, hold on. Let me tell you something. If I lift my feet too far up right now in this seat, I will be in pain. I don't even go vertical no more. I don't even remember the last time I jumped.
You say you don't go vertical anymore.
Don't. Like, let a rat go by my foot. I'm going to scoot real fast, but I'm not jumping or none of that.
Them parents don't need to curse at their kids to get their point across.
That's a lie. F them kids.
Agreed.
You're right. But you are right, though. You are right.
Moment.
We do have some dirty mouths these days, and there's a lot of times where, like, I will cuss my kids out, and I'm like, dang, I ain't have to do all that.
Why I had to say that to them?
Because now I have kids that are almost grown and they got filthy mouths. I'm like, I ain't nobody's fault but mine. I know that.
That's true.
I know that, but
can't blame nobody but yourself.
I blame my mom. It was passed down.
It's this little boy. He was yelling at his mom because I guess he had said a bad word, and or he did something. He was like, "Don't whoop me, whoop your own a. Don't whoop mine. Blame yourself. Blame your mouth.
You did it." That's what I mean. Every time my mom say something to me, she's like, "Why you something?" Like, you made me. What you tell you? You did this.
Listen, I'm so bad at names.
Terrible.
I'm terrible, but
she can barely pronounce her own name most days.
I really can't. I be forgetting my own name. I forget my kids' names.
Pernessis?
You know what? I really do feel like I still have like pregnancy brain, and that's a real thing.
Stop it.
And people, it is a real thing.
No, pregnancy brain is real, but not like years and years.
It's like it's called postpartum brain.
Postpartum don't last for 7 years.
Yes, it does.
No, it does.
Postpartum can last anywhere from childbirth all the way up until
postpartum ends when I say it because I said so. That's like my mom. I think ever since I was like 5 years old, she's like, "Oh, I'm going through the change." She still says it to this day, and I'm in my late 30s. Menopause.
Oh.
And I'm like, menopause doesn't last for 30 years. And she's like, "Yes, it does. Look it up." I'm like, oh my Lord.
It could.
I feel bad for y'all women. Y'all have so many issues that us men will never understand.
Man.
But when you got a good man that holds a woman down, we end up going through all of it with you. So you take it all out on us.
Nah, skip that.
No, it's what happens.
Skip that.
It's what happens.
Skip that. Y'all don't know what it feel like.
I don't know that. I'm glad.
I feel like to be on my shoes, man.
I'm glad. I will say though, my wife admitted that my pain. So she had her back blow out one time, and she couldn't even move.
Who did it? You?
I didn't even do it. Wasn't even me. Wasn't even me. It was a ghost. Ghost said. That's what I was like. What ghost was in here tearing it up? Why you can't move?
She like that off of a scary movie.
Right. You let the ghost hit it before me, cuz. But she was laying on the ground, couldn't move, like completely disabled her. And she was like, I don't know how you deal with this back pain every day. And she was like, she's had
smoke
what
every day.
5 births, 6, 5, 4, 5. How many? 5? 2 sets of twins. We have 8 kids. Anyway, she's given birth a lot.
She had a lot of kids.
She's given birth a lot, and she was like, I don't remember any of my births being that painful.
That sucks.
And I was like, say it again for the women in the back who think there ain't
the
a man on this planet that knows their pain. Because
Lifeline Center said, I'm still going through postpartum, and my baby 25 years old.
Stop it. No, unacceptable. I don't know. Unacceptable.
Technically can. Okay, let me see. How long can
just because postpartum has affected your brain and you are now crazy does not mean you are still currently going through postpartum. You are just crazy as a side effect.
So just up
saying.
to
Free me 360. What's going on, man? Thanks
up
for
to
tuning
3
in,
years
brother.
after birth.
Free my guy.
3 years after birth.
3, see? So. Not 25, not 7.
My youngest
3.
is 1.
But he act like 3, so
he do act like 3.
I'm just saying.
But
can't use that as excuses.
I read a post and somebody was like, have you ever thought that you changed until you actually been put in a situation that you realize you're still crazy?
Same. Yeah. For any of y'all that are on my stream right now and don't know what's happening in the room, you can go to our YouTube and see our actual show. We got like 17 cameras in here. We are also on the radio through our app. So make sure you go download the 9397 Network app. Go to our YouTube page, see us live stream. Go to our website. Go to our Facebook page.
Hey, Crystal.
Yeah, we out here. So speaking of excuses, I was telling my wife the other day. So this is I'm gonna break back into some motivational. Get off your ass.
Get off your butt. And do the work.
So with all that pain that I have, telling you how bad I'm 100% disabled veteran for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I legitimately have an excuse for why I was laying down all the time and drinking so much and all that. I had that excuse, and a lot of people gave me that consideration and was like, "Yeah, I understand. Like, it sucks. You're in a lot of pain and yada yada." So
give me the benefit of the doubt.
Right. So for the last like 3 years or so. I mean, obviously, I've still been doing my thing, coming to work, taking care of my kids and all that. But as far as like personal growth and personal development and physical health, I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I was laying on the couch because I was in so much pain.
You sound like the what's that commercial? The ICDC college.
You on the couch right now?
Anyways.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
Don't you I legit do something with your life.
No lie, I would think about that cat all the time because what it came down to was, am I going to be in this much pain? Laying here, if I get up, am I going to be in more pain or the same amount of pain? And the majority of the time, I found out that me getting up and pushing through that pain while doing things, it at least would take my mind off of the pain, so
instead
it just
of
wasn't
sitting there
and
just like, oh, this hurts so bad.
Pretty much, like it. And I'm in, like I told you before, sitting here right now. If you were to ask me on a level from 1 to 10 how much pain I'm in a 10 all the time. Yeah. I'm always at a 10. But my 10 is a lot of people's 100. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can handle my 10, and I've learned how to overcome that because I want more out of my life. I've got twin babies at home that I want to play with. I want them to not remember me just laying on the couch. I want to get up. I do.
don't want to be alive. I want to live.
I do. And
that's what people don't understand.
It's just a matter of you have to. And I'm not necessarily a fan of people who are like, find your why, because honestly, there isn't just one thing, one reason.
But I feel like you have to find at least a why, because that one why will lead you to multiple other.
And you know what my why is? Because I want to live. Like that simply is I used to be in such a dark spot that I was constantly in fear of suicidal thoughts and suicidal actions. And, I've been pronounced dead in the hospital before. I've been through a lot of those things already. So just living is enough for me. Like I want to live so bad that I get up and I deal with the pain, and I'm thankful that I'm alive and can feel that pain. A lot of people haven't been through those dark times, and a lot of people haven't been through, near death experiences and all of that. So this may not resonate with you, and you feel like you have 40, 50, 60 years left of life and you'll get there one day kind of thing. That possibly is not true. You could pass tomorrow. You really don't know. So you legitimately, when you wake up in the morning, you take that first breath. Today is legit the only thing you have. It's the only promise you have. And at some point today, you could be chopped down. You don't know that. So why not make every second of your life the best it can possibly be? And if you don't got anything to do that day, just get up and move around. Experience something. Have a human experience. Do not lay on your ass and let yourself die.
And that's and I'm glad that we're having this conversation. Hi, I am Jamina Busy.
How you gonna be busy and get us some shit? Don't talk to me. I'm busy.
Busby. I don't know. I think it's like their name. Y'all know I'm terrible with names. But that's the hard part with this generation, because like we said before, we find so many reasons of why not to do something instead of giving ourselves so many more reasons to do something. Man. And we lay on that pity, or we lay on that reason of, oh, I can't, instead of saying, okay, why can't I? Yes, let me do this. And being thankful. I mean, if pandemic and COVID hasn't shown us anything, it definitely should have shown us that tomorrow is not promised. Yeah. Your everyday is not promised. Your loved ones, and even if it's not reconciling with people that you've made mistakes with in the past, but learning to create those boundaries so that they won't happen again in the future. Yeah. Being kind to other people, because so many times people want somebody to be nice to them or give respect to them, but they're not being respectful, or they're not returning it. And it's not saying fight fire with fire, but it's about also valuing your life and your time, and surrounding yourself around other people who value you.
Stop living like a one-way mirror.
Yeah,
everybody's living like a one-way mirror. So
many of my family members off, and uncomfortability is ugly. When you feel uncomfortable of change and you putting yourself in different positions, it feels nasty. It's not comfortable. It's something you don't want to do, but you have to do it for the greater good.
And that right there is the fabric.
Who wants to wake up at 4 a.m. to work out?
I do.
No, but I'm saying the average person would be like, oh, I'd rather sleep in. But
that's what
you
I'm
have
saying.
to do it, or else you're going to keep complaining of this other reason or that.
And maybe this is my purpose on earth, because I feel like from this day forward, actually from months ago forward, I will always preach this simple fact. Everything that we are used to feeling, and the reason why we are like, oh, change is hard, is because everybody says change is hard. So everybody understands that change is hard, right? Mm-hmm. Change is not hard. Change is the easiest thing to do ever in the world.
It's uncomfortable, but it's easy to do.
But it doesn't have to be. So it
will be for the first couple of times.
But it doesn't have to be as well. That's what I'm saying. For
if
real,
you wore your drawers the wrong way for the whole life, and then the moment you switch them around, they're gonna be uncomfortable for the next day until you break the drawers in. You're like, oh, I can really walk.
It would be different, right? It would be different, but not necessarily uncomfortable. Like me, for instance, when I quit smoking cigarettes. The reason I hadn't quit before is because I'm like, oh, I just can't do it. When I'm stressed out, I just gotta go smoke a cigarette. Yeah. I just gotta do this. I have to do it. You know what I mean? Oh man, I'm not gonna be. And a lot of times, you know what it really was with drinking? It was the social aspect. Like, oh, I'm gonna be weird. Like nobody's gonna want to hang out with me. I can't be the guy who doesn't drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, uncomfortable, but unnecessarily uncomfortable. Because your mind is all that's an emotion. Uncomfortability is an emotion, unless you mean physically, like you're cuddling with this girl on my arm to sleep. You know what I mean? Like I'm not talking about that.
Like,
right.
Oh, so, I have to change my way of thinking.
Just like we were saying, we give ourselves way too many excuses and way too many rationalizations on our discomfort or this or that, because we know that most of the masses will agree with you. So when you're in agreement with everybody else, misery loves company. And if we're all commiserating on the same misery, then we're like, yeah, this is real. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks that's real. They're all still figments of your imagination. That discomfort is a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
Because for one, you don't want to be different than anybody else, because being different means X, Y, people won't like you or whatever the case may be. But what is it doing for your personal soul? What is it doing for your actual comfort inside? Not how you look to other people.
Yeah.
Not how people relate to you. Not any of that. How do you feel at the end of the day when you lay down and go to bed about yourself and the choices you made that day?
How you feel?
How
nasty.
Does it feel?
Nasty.
Yeah.
But you want to feel good. You want to be happy, like, dang.
Right. But
I did a good deed today.
People are so used to that chemical feeling of that serotonin or dopamine drip that comes from doing things that make
Give yourself that dopamine.
It's that instant gratification and that feeling of, oh, this feels good. That's not a lasting thing.
Yeah.
Why
I
don't
think we talked about that Monday too.
we did?
It's
And I feel like
it's
we could talk about this every show because
Yeah.
it really is what makes the biggest difference. You're gonna feel good for it. And I think the best quote I've ever came up with, and we said it, I think I said it on the air, was doing that thing for 1 hour a day that makes you uncomfortable, or not doing that thing for 1 hour a day that makes you uncomfortable, will result in you feeling uncomfortable all day.
Yeah.
So do that thing for an hour that makes you uncomfortable until that's the only hour a day that you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that for yourself?
Yeah, because I mean, instead of me, going to the gym, I ate a nutrageous.
I ate them
And I
tacos
mean-
back there, and it was delicious.
I ate a nutrageous.
But I'm going to the
so-
gym after this.
And I might work out at home. If I don't, I mean, that's on me. I'm gonna be
Right,
crying
like,
next week.
And stop. Look,
What's up, Mono?
let's just be honest with
Jujon?
ourselves. Okay, so let's try this. The next time if you're someone who's like, I got to start getting in the gym, I have to get myself back in shape, and yada yada yada, right? The next time you're arguing with yourself and talking yourself out of doing that and out of going to the gym,
yourself into it.
even if you don't talk yourself, if you let that part of yourself win, talk as much shit to yourself as possible about it.
Yeah.
Make yourself feel horrible for buying into and letting that part of yourself win.
Because-
Mentally, that is how I've been able to do the things I'm doing, because I beat myself up
In the
so
head.
much about not making
You
the
sound
correct
like,
choice.
you probably sound like Harvey. You remember Harvey on
sound
Celebrity Weight Loss?
Yes,
Get your
I
butt
do.
out of Harvey.
I
You better-
do. I legit do, because honestly, here's
What's
what you don't realize.
Lamurda 12?
What up, murder? Here's what you don't realize.
Lamurda
You're
12?
talking yourself out of doing stuff constantly,
Yeah.
right? Don't do it all. It's just gonna be better. No, your leg hurts right now. You shouldn't do. You're good. That's happening constantly. So why is it a problem to have another side of your voice being like, shit? I
Like a
literally
little
to
devil on the
myself,
shoulder.
I will say it out loud a lot of times. I'm like, shut the hell up. Because that voice in your head is nonstop.
Yeah.
That voice in your head is the biggest hater you're ever gonna have.
It really is, though.
The biggest hater.
Because
That's
I'm
why
trying to tell
people.
y'all, for my 29th, I'm coming 29 and fine.
Hey.
Okay. I literally, and I think that's my biggest problem is I'm a procrastinator. I
Mhm.
love like the crunch time of stuff. Like I just feel like
Love
I
being in the
perform
crunches.
better. I love being in the crunches. And I think that's why I've always psyched myself out of my goal, because I wait too close to my deadline to be
Okay.
like, okay, I'm gonna hit the gym every
Now,
day. When it starts now.
You may not agree with this, and this may not make you very happy, but you just made a rationalization for yourself in that state.
I know I did. And that's what I'm saying. That's my problem.
By saying I operate best in crunch time, blah, blah. No, what you're doing is you're enabling yourself to procrastinate,
Yeah.
and you're trying to turn that into a positive trait.
And that's why that's my problem of why
It sucks.
I don't always get the I'm not saying like with my like work and stuff. I'm saying like with my fitness goals. Because
Right.
I'm like, oh, I should probably start now, and then I would really be at my fitness goal. But then I'm always like, but I got like 3 months.
6
Like,
months
no,
later, you're like, man, if I would have been doing it this whole time.
I'd have got there.
Like, but that's the thing. We're all
Yeah.
so wrapped up in being used to that rigmarole that it's okay. You
Yeah.
know, it's fine. It is what it is.
When they say
and
it takes 15 to 30 days to break or form a new habit. So the
Something like
moment
that.
you get into it, it's easy to form and break a new habit. But you just have to have the people around you to keep encouraging you. You know, again,
Yeah.
it goes into your circle. You
just
know,
really beat yourself up.
and
honestly.
holding each other accountable. And
The
that's
best
what we
advice
wanna
I could
be.
give anybody is to beat yourself up. I know people tell you to speak nice to yourself mentally, and it's all about being positive. If you're
Mhm.
someone who, if you can do that and you're in a position to do that to yourself because you don't need to beat yourself up, cool. And kudos to you. But
Kudos.
nobody is going to inspire you and push you to be great more than you have the best ability to do so already. You don't need anybody for that. You can
You
do
don't
that
need
yourself.
nobody. You don't need Nan.
I mean, you need
And
us,
figure out, like, I'm
obviously.
sorry, y'all. I'm
You need us.
Who
but
is this?
Other than us, you need no
Bart?
one else.
Barch Party. Hi, Barch Party. I know people probably tune into my live and is like, what is she doing? She's
Right.
so. But y'all, look, I don't get on live to be cute. Like
Most of the time, you know, it's funny. Most of the
I get on
time,
live to be funny, just so y'all. Can see
I'm not
me.
even looking at you most of the time. I'm either looking here or looking there or like looking off in space, and then I'll watch the show
I'll be doing
or I'll
stupid
watch your
stuff.
live.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is she doing? Was she
Yeah.
even listening?
Listen, people always look at me like when they talk to me. I'm such a multitasker, and I'm not. Now this part, I'm not rationalized. Like I'm a multitasker.
Yeah, no, you
I
are.
can literally be doing something else and hear you, but be doing like 50,000 things, and I'll answer you like, yeah, okay, so you do this, and people look at me like, how did you just hear everything I said? Like I was in the kitchen cooking yesterday, and I was talking to my youngins, and they were just talking, but they were like kept pausing, like as if I wasn't listening. And I'm like, I hear y'all, keep talking, like stop pausing. But
Right.
that's just
Quick
that's just how I
question
am.
for my Instagram live. I just got a phone call. Can y'all hear me, or am I muted?
Am I now muted? What's up, Bart Party? What do you do for a living, Bart Party, or anybody
His
who's
name
tuned
is
in?
killing me.
That one, Bart Party.
Bart Parley. That's killing me.
Yeah, La Murder 12 really killed me.
So I was just thinking of Bart Fart.
Oh, Bart, yeah. Barty.
Party, party.
Speaking of Barty, happy belated birthday to my
Thank
sister,
you,
Cardi B. She turned 30
Y'all aren't
yesterday.
related. She's not.
That's why I said my sister.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like, it's not biological or anything.
You gotta
fleece.
Payardi.
Payardi.
Pay B. Party
Payardi batch.
Payardi badge. There you go. Hey, that's not a bad. That's got a ring to it. Payardi badge. Because that is all of.
Pay Cardi, and I got a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And princess.
Yeah.
Wrapping it all up in one.
Payardi badge.
Whoever's tuned in, what do you do for a living? Or
yeah, what
who
do
are
y'all
you?
do?
Who are you?
So, what do y'all think about what we're like? Well, I need some opinions about what y'all think, because I mean, it's
hit us up. Let us know, like,
I think I'm the only one that's ever
trolling?
really has said like beat yourself up, and like it's a new way of thinking that I'm trying to do that's been helping out, and I feel like you guys don't love yourselves enough. If you're not beating yourself up and you're not holding yourself accountable, I feel like there's a little bit of love that's lost between your mind and your soul.
Lord knows just joined. What's up? And Barty. Bart's Party. Because I just stop. You're making me think of his name wrong. He said he owns the photo booth company named Capture Visuals. We definitely gotta link up. Jump in my inbox because
wait, aren't we already? Isn't Captured Visuals who?
I don't know. I can't see the whole
Our
profile.
Magazine.
No,
isn't that their?
I
feel like that
Visions was a clothing line.
I don't know.
I did the 360 booth. Oh, he did. Oh, I did the 360 booth.
Yeah. Capture Visuals.
I can't see people's pictures in there. So Bart Party, I can't see.
916
That's what he was
Rockstar.
saying.
That's how I was raised, being a military
person.
brat. I'm also a military brat. I was born at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, at Pope Bragg. So you know exactly how I'm feeling.
A military brat?
Military brats. Aoife.
I wasn't a military brat, but he's personal page. Gotcha. Well,
Aoife is a dance
I ain't gotta tell you
teacher.
the network. We already been networking.
Seeking new work in the mortgage industry. Pay is in the mortgage industry, so you need to talk to Pay.
Definitely.
That doesn't mean you need to go over to her page right now. DM her later.
I want I think I want to do a video of like all the things that I do, because I don't think anyone truly knows what I do outside of radio. So therefore, like when I speak on certain things, people are always looking at me like, "Oh, you're just a radio personality,
right?
You don't do anything else." And it's like, got you.
I wish y'all could have seen them finger guns.
Gotcha.
Boo. What you think of?
He said, make sure y'all pull up on Sunday for the pop-up shop I'm hosting. We will definitely try to be there. Sundays are our
That's
family
my off
days.
day. I usually don't
and
go
our
nowhere.
Off days, so we will definitely try to be
I gotta
there.
watch my Lions lose.
Yeah, you know how that goes. And if you're near a bar Verona, if the Lions do win, they're giving away free truffle fries.
That's why they did that deal. They wasn't stupid.
But
they weren't dumb.
For Aoife, if you are in the mortgage industry, so outside of me doing radio, I have a business consulting firm that I started with my family. So we consult marketing strategies, SWOT analysis, LLCs, trademarks, copyrights, all those things. Boom. Then I am also a notary. And I have my own notary business, 3D Notaries. 3D Notary Services is actually named
and
after
if you
my
don't
boys.
know, now you know.
And I also sit on the board of a titling company. And I am a title processor manager. So I process titles on properties in the mortgage industry.
She does all the things.
Yes, in the mortgage industry.
She said, do you need an assistant and she can work remote?
I listen.
She's not playing.
I literally
probably
just
does.
posted on my Facebook page. He said he knows it's from 3 to 7. Okay, I got you. But if y'all are in that area, make sure y'all show up to Visions Pop-Up Shop this Sunday. I'll post the flyer in my story. But I literally just posted earlier on Facebook, like, I need a personal assistant. Like, any takers? Don't everybody speak at once.
Just saying.
And literally nobody but
hit her up,
but
Eve.
Please hit me up,
For
because
real.
with all of these things and all of these journeys, it's very hard to balance everything and make sure that you're giving the proper time to each thing.
Yes.
And as a business consultant, like, I have a lot of clients that I work with who put me on consultations to help them achieve their goals. So I'm helping them achieve their goals and helping them find locations
also
and contracts
trying
and
to
all these
achieve
things,
our
but also trying to achieve our goals as the program director here at the
I
network.
feel bad for her
So
because I'm
it's
very
like,
demanding as a co-host. I know she'd be busy and I'd be like, nah,
you
let's
know,
talk. She
like,
messed up and
it's
let me in
fun.
her walkie-talkie thing, so now I'll be.
And then he got some
What up,
nerve
girl?
to always now put his walkie-talkie as unavailable.
No, I don't.
Like, you
Listen, I went to
literally-
Kentucky
yo, I
and
was
my
in the
watch
train-
died.
I was in the train and all I hear is
Oh.
yoo-hoo, anyone there? And I literally could not stop the walkie-talkie. I'm like, ugh. It's just my watch going off. And then he sends another one. I don't know who's there.
It was funny too because I was pretty sure she was doing so. I know she's always busy. Because usually, if she's not busy, I'll know she's not busy because her and I will be talking. We'll be texting about something and coming up with
Yeah.
ideas. So if she hasn't hit me up in a couple hours, I know she's busy doing something else. I was like, oh, perfect timing.
And then the moment that I thought I was gonna get him back and I was gonna walkie-talkie him, I was
Negative. My watch died.
Yeah, his
Sorry.
watch died, and it kept saying unavailable. And I kept like, being like, is it my signal?
Nope.
I kept like refreshing it,
It's
walking
dead.
around.
It's died.
I'm gonna get him at the gym.
916 Rockstar says, I need help getting my music career going off. If anybody can help, we
Hey,
got you.
That's what we do. We help
We got
artists
you.
register
For sure.
their royalties and all that kind of stuff, because
DM me later and
again,
let me know what you need,
we
and we will
want to
start
be the
your work.
platform that gives back to the world. I
We
don't
just
want to
wanna
be
get music
saying,
out there.
I don't want to be one of those people that's saying, oh, this needs to change, but you're not being
Not
the
doing
change that you want to see in the world.
So
And
what?
don't do that. Don't
Here's
look,
what
I
I'm
don't
preparing
like that.
myself for. I'm preparing myself for these big companies to try to get us off the air, because we're going to be giving away all the secrets. We're going to be helping artists flourish without taking everything from them. We're going to be doing things like
we put money.
we put money in your bank accounts,
in your pocket,
under your mattresses.
under your mattress,
We putting
in your
coins
titty.
in your piggy bank.
You know, when
what
we
I'm saying?
money. That's listen. Do you know in some countries, in some places, they say no money from like under the boob. You got to think about how nasty
Superstitious
that is.
thing? Oh,
No,
of
it's
booby sweat?
nasty.
'Cause of
Boob
booby
sweat. You pull out a moist 20 and give it to somebody.
Ooh.
That's how COVID started. Do you know you can actually catch like women can not
Titty
men.
Rona?
Actually, men can too. They got big boobs and they're not powdering them up. You can catch yeast infections under your boobs.
Is that where the term rolls came from? When they say you
can
got
catch 'em between
rolls?
your rolls too.
Is that why they call them rolls?
I don't know. It could
Because
be.
they got yeast all in them? Ew.
It could be.
Ew.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I didn't eat pizza today.
See what happened to him. He said not how COVID started. No,
It was
for
a titty
real.
buck. A titty buck started it.
Because men start doing it with they. I think
I'm gonna start a strip club called Tits, Chips, and Tips, and
chips and tips.
all we serve is bags of potato chips for food.
Not a bad idea.
I'm telling you, it's pretty fire. It keeps it over.
Chips,
Tits, chips, and tips. That's it.
TCT.
TCT, baby. Oh, that's it right there.
That is
That's-
hilarious.
Our overhead would be extremely low.
It really would. I mean, you can buy those cases of chips off Amazon, and it's Amazon Prime days.
Oh, let's
you know What I'm
go.
saying?
Or we get to go to Better Made and get the deal.
They be burnt now.
That's okay.
No,
Hey, it's TCT, baby. They don't care.
we're gonna have the popcorn chips, the
Oh,
baked
we don't
eggs.
have
You
it
want to
all.
eat healthy?
See, 916 Rockstar said that's fire. He said he coming. He'll
See?
be there.
And then the girls got to wear helmets because you're allowed to throw change.
Dang.
just
Literally
kidding.
make it rain. Yeah, we'll be different.
It's making it hail.
So when they go to like the ATM or like the cashier to get their money out, we give them a piggy bank full of quarters.
Dog, that
That'd
would be
be
like
fire.
such a low budget.
But then we would have to have vending machines from the Mr. Outside,
Yeah,
and it would
yeah.
take quarters, so you can use your quarters from your piggy bank to get your chips or
And it's
make
a
it
whole-
rain.
It's a whole situation.
I wonder
It's a
what kind
whole
of
lot money
insurance.
in this.
Oh, what up, all bars? I wonder what kind of insurance we'd have to protect the girl, like in case one get hit
As
in the
long
eye.
as they have a helmet with the shield.
Yeah, you need a face shield. Getting hit in the eye with a quarter. Oh, what happened to you, miss?
Face shield because you don't want them to get one in their mouth.
Oh, I choked on a nickel. If I had a
Yeah.
dime for every time she done choked on a nickel.
That'll be so trifling, y'all.
You know who ain't got a gag reflex? She choked on
Momani. Oh, hi, Momani. She hasn't tuned in
Man.
in quite some time. So, hey, boo.
all bars. Speaking of all bars in the building,
Hey,
he said, "Hey, princess, man, you better don't nobody.
Hey,
What did we talk about? No
cousin.
talking to no
Hey,
princess
cousin.
on my
She said, "Hi,
nobody.
beautiful. How have you
This
been?"
Kujo live. You go over there on her
Oh,
punk
to
ass
all the new
live
people
if you
that's
wanna-
tuning in,
I'm just
y'all
kidding.
haven't had a chance to hear my announcement. I graduated with my bachelor's.
They was
I'm
here.
just gonna keep reiterating this
They
every
heard.
couple of shows.
They heard.
So I'm now going by Princess Batch. I got my bachelor's of science with a
She
concentration
really
in
is,
small
too.
business and entrepreneurship. And I just
Yeah.
want that to be put out there. Okay.
Uh-huh.
2022,
She got a
about to
BA and
graduate
BS.
college.
Oh.
I did. BS.
All
I'm
bars.
giving all BS.
I would
Awesomeness,
definitely like to
awesomeness.
feature you as well in the U Store Present. So we need to talk.
Thank you.
We got a lot of artists in here that I think are gonna be great.
Yeah, but we got a lot of people out here who need to be doers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
y'all gotta.
Y'all need to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Y'all
and not
y'all
doodle
gotta
on the
do the-
toilet. Like actually
the
do
doo-doo.
what you say you're
So
gonna
look,
do.
I'm gonna put on for all of y'all, and I need y'all to put
I
on for yourselves, put on for
myself.
us. Like we're trying to build the largest squad that's ever risen together. Like I it's weird how I think Wu-Tang was the last group of
But look
successful
how
people
genius
that
he was with
but that's what I'm
that.
saying. And what did he say? If you watch that documentary, he's like, I can't do this by myself. I need
was
all
that
of
Redman
y'all.
or Method Man that was in it? That was Method Man, right?
Yeah.
That was in it. But look how his career grew and all of
Right.
their careers
All of them.
grew.
They
like,
were able to be a
effectively.
conglomerate and all still go out and do their things individually. So I feel like that, and there's a reason why those things don't work necessarily all the time, because there's huge companies that don't want you to do that. So they'll try
it
to.
ain't even the companies; it's the people. Let's stop
No,
blaming the other
I
companies.
mean,
It's the
yes, but at the same
David
time,
Ruff.
these big companies will see y'all starting to do that, and they go they try to pick at the weakest link. Come on over
Don't
here.
be a weakling.
They don't want you to.
You are the weakest
They're not gonna
Goodbye.
make sure you shine. They're gonna come over here with us, and we can do.
That's why you got to build a solid foundation where everybody
Solid squad.
understands the goal, because that's how. I mean, literally, if you think about it, that's how
All of
every
them.
foundation have crumbled. There was always one weak link that the op or
Yeah.
the opposing team or the police or somebody can maneuver into making them think they're more than what it is.
Yeah.
To turn on the whole entire foundation.
What documentary? What did I just say? Who we talking about? A documentary? Did I say something about a
Oh,
documentary?
the Wu-Tang.
Oh, yeah. On
Infiltrate
Hulu.
the dealer,
On
find
Hulu.
the supplier.
Right. On
That's
Hulu.
my
They
favorite
have.
slogan.
Are they coming back out with it?
The
They gotta be
Game
having a
NG
second
the
season,
Game
right?
and G unit.
Yeah.
That was. And then what they do, they figured out a way how to pipe up 50 Cent's mind, because he couldn't. I mean, you want to be frank, he wasn't really the rapper. You know what I'm saying? He was more like the spokesperson.
Who, 50?
50.
50 got bars? Fifth got bars.
On certain songs.
Yeah.
Not an album, multiple albums
But
worth.
it's okay, but
but
more than lyrical,
let's be real.
more than his lyrical bars and everything, his niche and his thing was his delivery, his swag, his style, his persona.
50.
Yeah.
Hit me.
It was his persona is what was his driving factor. It wasn't necessarily him being a lyrical genius.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, they made him feel like, oh, you were the bigger one to crap on everybody else, and he turned his back on the whole G Unit thing. He thought he was the.
That's what a lot of
thought
people.
he was the HBIC.
That's what a lot of people said about him when it came to D12. But people don't really.
He just don't even know. I mean,
Yeah, but he made some new. He matched his
he was
gangster
the business
facts.
and he was hungry.
Yeah.
Look,
Fit that
I mean,
that situation and then the greatest example of that, because that whole because the rest of his squad was he was just a 50 hater.
I just don't like how he do business. He's not smart. I mean, I don't.
What do
I
you
don't
mean?
Like, he sold
I took
vitamin
quarter
He
water,
was
sold
broke.
water for $2 instead of a
I'm
million.
I'm
What the?
gonna look
Have
more
a baby
into it.
by
I
me,
feel like
baby.
50
Yeah, you got to look that up
I
because
feel like 50 is
he's a smart man.
a
he's very business savvy.
Sell out.
How though?
Fed.
And
Rat.
my
It's giving off rat
Ah,
vibes.
okay, we're gonna have to do some
Allegedly,
research.
in my opinion. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
A group of positive, inspirational artists is a good look the world needed. Yes. And that's
But
exactly what we're
it
trying
can't.
to do.
Okay, so I get your drift, and I definitely respect that. But I want to widen it to more than just artists.
Yeah.
Because you need
Artists
more
of any
people.
kind,
Yeah.
business savvy
That's what people don't understand.
We need some people that do taxes. We need people
he
that
cut the
do
lights on for a lot of families,
50.
but he also cut them off in a lot of families.
How though? Maybe for Young Bug. There's reasons. And I will say this too. I want you to really look into that because he does a lot of interviews talking about what happened in all of these situations too. And I've seen a lot of them. Now, is he a bully? Yes.
I don't like bullies.
Is he an a-hole? A lot of times, yes. But a lot of times it's hilarious.
Even old boy from Power always talks about how he hounded
Amari?
him. Yeah, how he didn't really pay him
For
when he
some
weren't,
money,
and
yeah.
then he like gave him a loan. Like, and it could just be a personal opinion.
Yeah.
It probably has nothing to do
You're
with
not
his
gonna
business.
like
savvy,
everybody.
But yeah, you're not
know.
gonna like everybody. But me, I'm the type of person. If I give something to you, I give it to you. I'm not
don't-
gonna hound you back. I'm
even
not
though
gonna tell the world.
even though it's a loan, I'm not. Anytime you loan anybody money, no matter how much it is, you better just say that money's gone.
What Drake say? Never loan something to somebody that you're gonna need right back. You need that
Ever.
right now.
Now, let me
Invest in
say
the money.
this: if I give you $100, I want my $100 back. But
No,
if I don't get it
he
back,
lying.
I'm not gonna be hurt because I had it to give to
so
you.
I feel like if you don't get it back, that's because you know that person isn't capable of giving it back to you. Because any person who you truly lend something to, you know that they're asking you because they would not ask anybody
Right.
else. So to look for it back is kind of like but then to go out on campaign tours, dogging them and talking about how you want it back.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
that's
Me
just not-
personally, it's a personal
that's just not us.
opinion.
Right, that's
Yeah.
not us. But some like Bar said, it's the music business, not the music family, and
You
I
said Tony Yayo
I
spells
agree with
everything.
that. It's the music business, not the music family. So there was something there's something when it comes to that sometimes, especially, and that's the point. I want it to be the music family. I want it to be the entertainment family here, and not just business is business. Because there is a way. If you have your paperwork right and everybody is fashioned towards the same goal and everybody has the same goal in mind, and we're all working in tandem, then it doesn't have to be business is business, because to say business is business is to mean
I'm trying to cut
what's
to get
up.
on top.
Like what's up when things go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you build the right squad, our team could be 100 people deep, and if all 100 of us have the same thing in mind, and we've all clearly talked about what our business is together, what the splits are, it all ends up coming down to money at the end of the day. So as long as your splits are right and everything's on paper and everybody acts accordingly, then there shouldn't be a problem.
I literally just posted a story this morning of Monica saying the exact same thing. She was saying, people out here saying, y'all fumble the bag and all that kind of stuff. And she's not necessarily saying a bag. Y'all are fumbling relationships that you cannot get back once you burn. I would rather lose all of my money or give my funds to someone who, if a deal went bad, because at the end of the day, your reputation can never restart. That money can be remade and replaced, but your reputation will never, ever change. So you are fumbling a relationship, and that's going to burn you longer than that couple $100 that was going to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's what people are not realizing. So you'd rather spit on this person and spat on that person. Well, the industry is very, very small of who owns what and who is in what position of what seats. So you burn the wrong bridge, you will never, ever make it.
When I was in LA, there are people who I still run into, whether it be on social media or in person, that I met in LA and did things with, or went to school with, or X, Y, and Z, and somehow came around full circle and ended up still being in the same, room as those people in business.
Mm-hmm.
Had I been an a-hole, or had I done something to them, to them back in the day, then I wouldn't even have been in that room, because that influence would have been, what I mean? I keep trying to explain that to my daughter too, because she doesn't give a shit what anybody says about her in school and how people think about her and what her reputation is. Still, do you know how many people were a certain way in high school and then it came back to bite them in their adult life? Because the person they were a-hole to in high school is now the CEO of the company you're trying to get a job at, or whatever. Those kind of examples. I don't care when it is. You should never put yourself out there being some kind of way that you don't want to be remembered as, because I personally, why be like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Bart Party says, it's one thing to loan and not expect it back, but you see people out blowing money before they pay you is the issue.
That's
that's
their
the problem.
prerogative, dog.
No, their prerogative is they look like they're blowing money,
Facts.
but clearly they're in a negative because they owe you. So they're only blowing half of maybe 1/3 of what they owe you, and it may look like they have the funds, but trust me, if they had the funds to truly pay you back, they would have.
Here's
I know
my
so
thing,
many
though.
people out here who are spending and shopping on a whim of a whim. Okay, like
here's my thing: you give that person that money, right? And they didn't give it back to you, or they said they didn't have it, and you see them out partying and doing whatever. Okay, cool. Instead of you being hung up and mad about that $100 that person's not giving you, and they're out having fun or whatever, just cut them off. Okay, you got me once, you'll never get me again. I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun with that. Let them know I still want my money back when you get it, but don't ever ask me for anything again. You are now not in my favor.
But then let me show you how those kind of things can turn around full circle, right? I had an individual who they fell out over some money, right? He hounded this person for this money, and I mean, like, they fell out completely because the person didn't pay them back. Fast forward a couple years later, said person goes to apply for this job. They apply for this job. Well, guess who's interviewing for the job? The said person that they owed the money over.
Wow.
So you could have kept a friendship and lost the money and been able to get this job, but because you fell out with this person, now they're in an upper position to possibly pay you back, and now you're not about to get this job. So
the person that didn't pay him back was
the interviewer.
Ooh.
So that's why I say you have to be careful of burning certain bridges, and certain things are just not worth a fuss, you know. And that's where we have to start learning in life that every action doesn't deserve a reaction.
Right.
You can it hurts a person more of you ignoring them than you giving them attention. You giving them attention fuels them. You ignoring them hurts them more. So therefore, you could lose that $20. You know what I'm saying? But that person probably would have hired you in and be like, you know what? Listen, I remember a couple years ago, I couldn't pay you back. I'm gonna give you this job, and I'm gonna give you a sign-on bonus because of what happened in the past. You know, I appreciate you.
These days, look,
you never know how.
This is how I am these days. If you do me, I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I don't want to bicker. I don't want to have any kind of stress that's unnecessary for me. Right. So if you're gonna get into some kind of spat with me, or if you blaming me for being the problem, or you want to argue or this, that, I'm at the point right now where I just cut you off. Yeah. I don't want to talk.
You get in an argument with yourself.
I don't want to talk.
I'm not having a disagreement with nobody. If we don't see eye to eye, deuces.
If we can't get through a conversation without it ending up being frustrated and arguing and all of that, then we're not talking anymore. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Exactly.
I'm not holding a grudge. I'm not mad at you.
Exactly.
None of that. I just don't feel like we should communicate anymore.
I wish the best for you. I just don't want to surround myself.
No, I can't do it no more.
And that's okay.
I just had on a heart monitor for 4 days. You think I got the time or the health to be stressed out about something that's
Listen, people need to know how to. LIG is smoky, okay?
Yeah.
Literally. Let it go, because you are holding on to grudges, things, situations that will never serve you purpose, that will never bring you justice, that will never bring you closure, never bring you closer to where you need to go or what you need to do. But you're holding on to this, and that's why.
And then you hold on to it, and you go smoke a cigarette, or you go lay on the couch and stress out, or drink a beer because you're stressed out over the situation, instead of doing those things that you know you should be doing to better yourself.
Exactly.
And it's a constant circle.
Listen, I have so many people. I'm not gonna say so many people, but I have a few people who I just choose not to deal with.
Facts.
If I have to, okay, so if you are supposed to be my family, my day one, my supporter, my this, I don't want nobody around me who does not understand what unconditional love and support is. You do not have to understand somebody to respect somebody.
Facts.
You do not have to fully know what they're going through to give someone their space and still support them. You don't even have to show up to support them. Your words of encouragement, your reposting, and all those things will show for itself. So I had to remove myself from so many situations where, what's up, BJ? I had to remove myself from so many situations where I kept trying to explain to people or make people understand my worth. And if you cannot see my worth from you just being a family member or a friend, you gotta go.
You know
Because I
what?
shouldn't have to explain to you what I'm worth.
I was thinking about that the
You
other
should
day
just see
too. Thinking about that the other day because there was people, especially when in the radio world, there are people who I've worked with or under, or are considered pretty famous in certain areas and whatnot. And I found myself always clamoring for attention from those people. Like I know them personally,
What's your opinion?
and then I would move on in life and do something else, and then be doing something that I think they would be proud of me for, or even in the same genre. Like for instance, when I got back in the radio, I was sending them all, you know what I mean, like hoping just to get a little bit of love from them, and they would validate me or whatever the case may be. And obviously, a lot of times that love didn't come because I thought I was closer to them, I guess, than I really was. And what it turned out was I was just another person in the long line of people that they passed by or acquaintances of. And here I am thinking and giving them
really
I was giving them all this promo. Oh, they're such a great people, and all that show is great, and this is great, and that's great. And
at all.
I mean, but that's not their job to, you know what I mean? Like, why would I need why would I need their love or appreciation or whatever the word I'm looking for is, validation? Why would I need their validation? And who am I for them to make sure they go out of their way to validate me?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I think Delta Real, he says, I'm feeling the topic, but I have a slight difference of opinion.
What's that?
He said that we shouldn't be so quick to leave when we have disagreements or misunderstandings. And listen, I'm not saying that
elaborate,
you leave.
Though.
Yeah, okay, elaborate.
Leave in what way? What do you mean?
I'm gonna answer that until you elaborate.
Yeah, because I mean,
having a disagreement or a misunderstanding is one thing, but you still have to be able to respect a person. I believe that yes, all relationships, friendships, partnerships, you have disagreements,
right?
But you still have to respect one another when you have a disagreement. It's okay to see differently, but just because we don't see eye to eye, don't mean that gives you a chance to try to belittle me, talk down on me, call me out my name, or all these types of things. I'm meaning like over a period of time, if people continue to show you they don't care or disrespect, don't be so afraid to cut them off.
I'm a little more brash than that now, though, because now, okay, so how I feel is everybody has their place, right? So if right now we're talking and yada yada, and we're whatever happens, and we're arguing, and we're to a point now where it's simple things we're arguing about, then there's a bigger problem there.
Yeah.
If we can't communicate without arguing, and there's no actual argument to be had, but there's an argument starting.
We arguing about the refrigerator door being left open for 2 extra seconds. Okay.
So I'm not saying I'm gonna cut you off and cut you out of my life forever, and I hate you and go about your way, but I'm gonna put you back into that cubby of when we need to talk, we'll talk, or if there's something that has to be said between us, but I'm not just going to call you to talk anymore. I'm not just going to share my everyday close conversation with you. When there's something to talk to you about, I'll talk to you, and that conversation will be limited to whatever said thing is about, and then I got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he said facts. I get that, greatly put. And that's that dialogue.
Yeah.
People don't know how to have that dialogue
at all.
And speaking of dialogue and having disagreements and misunderstandings, so last night I was in bed, and the divorce of like people that's going on right now is like every time you turn around, it's another couple that's getting like divorced, like from Real Husbands of Hollywood or whatever, Real Housewives, they're getting divorced. And then Tia Mowry and her husband popped up on my timeline of divorce, and it was showing like, oh, I saw signs a long time ago that he was so unhappy and he was so this. So my question is, because this happens in a lot of marriages, and I love Tia, and I'm always going to play devil's advocate when it comes to marriage relationships, because I'm not always one-sided. What is the relationship not working now? Because he's been in a few movies, consistent TV shows, roles, and he's on the road traveling, and maybe she's not. So he was probably unhappy because he wasn't fulfilling his dream, because they both were actors when they first met. He was probably supporting her more than himself. So he could have been unhappy. And now that he's back to acting, I mean, he's on The Chi, he's on All American Homecoming, he's been in a couple other movies and TV shows, on BET, the Karen movie, and all these things. could that be why she's like, oh, I'm putting me first? Because you do have a lot of women who feel like my dreams, my goals are more important than the man's goals.
Yeah. And now that she seems to be winding down in her career and wanting to settle, and his is turning up, she's not happy with that because I guess she probably felt, well, and I'm not, I don't know
we're
this.
hypothetically jumping.
I don't know this at all.
Saying.
But you see that a lot in couples that when they're doing the 80-20 thing, and one of them are going, the other one supporting, and then the other one has that opportunity to go flourish. The one that used to flourish and is now having to switch into that other role is unhappy and feels like that other. Well, you've been sitting in the house all these years chilling, and now all of a sudden you want to go out now that I'm home. Like, well, yeah, because I was holding down the household while you did your thing. Now it's time for me to go do my thing, and you hold the house down.
And honestly, that has to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? If anybody ever looks at Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I say this because everybody always says, oh, that's the goal, that's the relationship goals. Neither one of them are ever dropping an album at the same time.
Right.
Now, if they're on an album together, it's different because they probably work their schedules out to be on that album and recording that at home together in their leisure time. But Jay drops an album, B's at home. B drops an album, Jay's at home. You have to have a balance. You have to have someone guarding the fort while someone else is in the fort.
Have to.
Because if both of you are in the fort, who the heck is guarding it from breaking down?
They coming everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? So these type of misunderstandings and disagreements happens all the time. But people have to know how to put their selfishness to the side for the greater cause.
That's
it's not always going to be about what you want. I. It's gonna be a we, and it's a give and take, a take and give. It might have to be a give, and then a take. Like it's never gonna be equal. But that just kind of popped into my head because, like I said, I've been seeing him on so many different TV shows now and so many different movies, and I'm like, okay, Tia, let me find out that you were a little jelly because his career is popping because she didn't do the game reboot.
Yeah.
She didn't do that. She didn't do a lot of the other acting things. I haven't seen her on TV quite frequently on any episodes. And I mean, she was the larger name at one point of their marriage of being on TV.
And it sucks that she did, because I did see that post, just like doing me, whatever. Like, because it instantly, and you have to know, you have a responsibility as a celebrity to know that what you say is going to be taken a certain way by whoever and whatever and yada, yada. So that makes it immediately feel like he did her wrong or did something terrible to her, and that she wasn't herself and that she was catering to him or to all those things, which could not necessarily be true. Now, are they true? Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know the details.
But it couldn't be, because when she was popping on TV, who else would have been home with the kids? They've been together for 21, 22 years.
Crazy.
He's been at home wiping butts. But again, this is hypothetical. This is allegedly. This is my vision of it.
Not a hypothetical. I'll tell you about my life, because my wife recently went back to work. And when we moved from where we were before, she was a correctional officer, right? She worked a lot. She worked constantly. So I was home with the kids. So when we moved, she no longer worked and she stayed home with the kids. And she was pregnant with our twins. And, you know, for like pretty much 3 years, she stayed home and she didn't work. So she started going to school to be a teacher, and she got the opportunity to go work in an early learning center. And I was excited for that. But that meant that now I have to be home from, you know, in the morning until she gets off at 2 before I come to work or do my thing. Right. So when you were talking about discomfort earlier, there was a sense of a little bit of emotional discomfort because I was used to being able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, leave as I pleased and all of that. And she was always stuck in the house with the kids. So it was a realization, and it was there was a switch of tide that had to happen. And I just had to get used to the way the waves hit the rocks, you know, and every time she would, you know, talk about it or ask her or bring it up, I'm like, I'm good. I mean, it just, of course it's different. And of course I don't necessarily have that freedom that I used to have in the mornings, but what was I using it for anyway?
And that's always the hard part, because they make it like, oh, being a stay-at-home mom is so cool, but being a being a stay-at-home dad is, oh, you're a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, there's
like,
such a
what's
stigma
wrong with being a stay-at-home dad or a majority time dad? You know what I'm saying?
I love my
kids
job.
need their dads just as much as they need their moms.
And them boys are stuck on.
And I'm gonna tell you something. moms are always gonna be, more flamboyant when it comes to the kids. You know what I'm saying? Dads, all they gotta do is say something with that voice. Hey, them kids, stop
Exactly.
it. They stop dropping and rolling. Moms,
course.
we gotta. Do I need to get the belt?
You're gonna go to
Sit
timeout.
down. It's time out. You better stop running. Like, you gotta say things 4 or 5 times as a mom, whereas a dad, it's just like I really want to get like just a male like voice. So like when my husband's not home, I could just play like a Megatron of like his voice, like sit, like so the kids would just sit down. They'd be like, oh, "Who's that?" Like because it don't make no sense.
All bars said the relationship candle burns at both ends. Y'all have to be each other's strengths when the one is weak, and that's with everything. That's absolute fact.
That is the absolute fact.
And that's not to say, okay.
Join. Yes, if you want to join, join our StreamYard, because if you join my live, the radio people won't hear you. So I will send you a.
Ooh, exciting!
So exciting.
And so it goes into communication too. Like when you go through those switches or changing the guard or those uncomfortable moments or whatever you want to call them, all you have to do is Shay. All you have to do is make sure you talk. Shay in the building. 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 What up, though?
We be in the studio having fun.
So we were talking about relationships. You done forgot radio etiquette already?
I know. She leaving the door open.
Born in a barn.
Busting up in here. Dang.
Juice on her. She said, "Oh."
First of all, I got a whole whiff just from that door opening.
Oh, y'all smell my new herbal essence?
I do.
I need some Cheetos or something now.
I got some tacos over here if you want some.
I got
Le weed.
I got the munchies. She done waltzed up in here.
What's up, Butter?
Oh my god.
See, look, y'all, Butter been dodging me because we supposed to have a show. But Shay Butter been dodging me. She's supposed to. Yeah, y'all gotta give her some suggestions. So Shay Butter wants to come on
Butter,
air
baby.
in her. Ooh, it's Butter Baby. I like that. It's Butter Baby's nice. I didn't even think of that.
Baby.
It's Butter Baby.
Oh, here I'm
called Country Crock. Butter Crock. Butter Crock.
Zoom it out a little bit.
Hold on, y'all gotta get the dual action.
Barrel with Kujo because
chicken fried syrup.
Yeah,
I don't like did I tell you that story? I think I told you that story.
He said that
my wife and I went to Cracker Barrel and the syrup literally tasted like fried rice. Like no BS. I wasn't high. I wasn't having a stroke. Like I was for real. I was in there.
He wasn't having
I wasn't. For real. I wasn't. And I was in there like legit. Like this. Like I said it out loud. I'm like, this tastes like fried rice. And I was like, try it. She cracked open her own bottle of syrup, put it on her plate, and that whole batch of syrup legit tasted like fried rice. Negative. Where do you go that fried rice flavored syrup?
They do like
it wasn't on the bottle.
I just DM'd you
not on the bottle.
Link, Del to Real. It's coming from the 9397 network.
Oh, Juice said sorry, she was with me. Juice smoked her out. Whoa, hey, getting nailed. Whoa.
Her nails done. Getting her nails done. I just resent it to you.
That's
hilarious. From my page.
With communication, y'all definitely need to know each other's trigger words.
To join our live.
Talking because most of us have come
so I'm gonna have him join our live stream so that the listeners.
Okay, so that with communication, y'all definitely need to know each other's trigger words when talking because most of us have come from a place when verbal abuse is normal but damaging. And that's true.
That is very
you
true.
have to know anytime you get into conversations that could possibly be heated or talking about discomfort, you have to know your audience. And a lot of people, when they know each other's trigger words, there's a bit of damage and there's a bit of that's what I'm saying. There's this resentment that you hold from situations like that. If something like this happens, which is from what I heard, which is why, and I think you told me this, why Giselle and Tom are probably getting a divorce.
Oh,
because there's this resentment that happens when life changes happen and it wasn't talked about prior.
Yeah.
So if you don't immediately say something and you try to just grin and bear it, and you hurt and hold instead of hurting and healing, you
Yeah.
end up with this resentment.
Yeah.
And then in those conversations, when you're supposed to be having a healing conversation, you end up using those things on purpose as a jab, like, well, you put me through this situation without talking to me. So
Sorry.
that's why you got a little pee.
Commentary, Ray.
And it's not right.
Ray.
You can't do that unless you're ready for your
'Cause you
relationship
got
to
some
end.
people- okay, so have y'all listened to Kendrick Lamar's album? That
Yeah.
one song, like you have people who literally have toxic arguments on purpose and like enjoyingly, like I hate you, B, I hate
Yeah.
you, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then you don't know how to reconcile that. Like one
Yeah.
thing I've always made sure, and in my younger years, I wasn't so good at it, but now that I'm older, I am. When I
Now that I'm
Older.
now that I'm
ancient.
I'm more seasoned. I try not to use like hate words or things that I will regret after this conversation, because one thing that you cannot take back is words. And I hate when people used to say like sticks and stones, they break your bones, but words may never hurt. Like,
words
no.
are words. Somebody
Yeah,
lied
like-
to you when they said that.
Like a bone can heal.
Yeah.
Your scab can heal, but them words you will forever like play
You
that
remember.
back in your mind. So I always make sure that like when I have a disagreement or with anybody, I'm never saying anything that I may personally regret. Because
Yeah.
how do you say sorry from those
You
things?
don't.
You know what I'm
And that's
saying?
me, and you know how much I love words. Like
Mhm.
words to me are huge, and everybody in my life knows how much I love words and how much words mean to me
Yeah.
and intentions mean to me. So like when I was telling y'all I wasn't talking to my daughter, I had to keep explaining to people that it isn't out of a lack of love for her, and it
Yeah.
isn't out of a lack of being able to understand what
Instead of
she's
let
going
go.
through. It is all love, because I know how evil I am and can be when pushed to that point. And
Yeah.
once I go ham on you, I will emotionally ruin you.
Yeah.
I am very good at words, and I'm very good at sociology, so I know how to and when to. I will live in your head like a
I live in
I
your
will-
head like a bed bug.
I will bury myself. I will bury myself in your head. You will never forget my voice. You know what I mean? And I'm
No,
good
that's,
at
that's
it.
one of
So
those things that like
I just
now-
don't talk.
Now that I'm older,
What's up, Majestic?
I don't like when people say something to me and it's like out of order, out of character. I can't rock with you because I feel like whatever you said when you were mad and or drunk, you truly
There
meant
is no
it.
sorry.
And that just gave you the courage to finally say it to my face.
Yeah.
And I can never forgive you on that.
I'm
Like,
same way.
and I don't say never forgive you. I will forgive you, but I won't forget.
But here's okay. Let me ask you a question
It's
though,
true.
because I really don't understand that whole thing either. Why do I need to forgive you?
I'm forgiving you for my peace
For
and my
yourself.
sanity. Because
I've
I'm not
it's
holding on-
gone.
Right. So
I don't
therefore-
even. So I don't need to
therefore-
forgive
therefore
you
it's-
at all.
you
It's
forgave
gone.
him.
No, I didn't.
No,
I just
because
forgot.
some
It's
people
over
who do not forgive, they hold on to that for
So
the
you
rest
forget,
of
you
their
just don't
lives.
forgive.
Exactly.
Okay, so he.
Oh, so
I
he
do the
forget
opposite
and not
because how?
forgive.
Because this is what I mean. So if I forgive you, right, that means that whole occurrence is now null and void because we're not talking about it anymore. I forgave you. It's over with. I'm cool with it. So then why would you not be in the same space or do the same things you used to do? Because you
Oh.
obviously haven't
Oh, because I
forgiven.
forgave you don't mean that I'm going to come around.
But that's what I'm saying,
Like-
though. To me,
'Cause what's the
that's what I'm
difference?
saying. Forgiving, to me, if you forgive somebody, you can't conditionally forgive somebody. If you're going to forgive me for something, say I accidentally did something I didn't mean to, you're like, I forgive you. Okay, so if a year later you bring up that thing that you told me you forgave me about, okay, you never really forgave me.
So
You've held
that's-
resentment.
That's what
and
I
that's not
don't
fair.
agree with. I don't like when people do that.
Juice's
Even in
mom.
relationships.
What up, Juice's
Hi,
mom?
Juice Mom. Even when people forgive people in relationships, right? So like you say, like, oh, I forgive my mate for cheating. You can't forgive somebody for cheating if you keep bringing it up. If you forgive
Right.
them, you have
every
to
time
You
let
fully
it go.
gotta let it go.
Like
Time
that
you
one
cheated
time
on
you
me.
cheat, like, okay, did you forgive me
You
or
didn't
not?
forgive me.
And
Right.
that's what a lot of people get wrong. I forgive you for my sanity, for my peace, because I know that I didn't do anything wrong in that situation. So I'm forgiving you because of just the greater good, because I know I
Forgiving you
deserve
'cause you're
to.
Stupid.
Yeah, because you
Right.
you don't know any better. I'm forgiving
But
you
I
because
just-
I
I
feel
don't-
pity upon you.
But that's my thing,
and
though.
I hope that you can, get better. But I'm not gonna forget. I'm forgiving you because I want to heal you. I want to try to help
but here's
you.
the point. Here's the
But-
point for me, though. My point is To forgive
just
somebody
like her.
means you're going to have another interaction with them, and you need to not have that hurt on your heart when you have that next interaction. So
Sorry,
for
y'all.
me,
Somebody called me.
I'm just not gonna rock with you anymore. I don't
I'm
want
still
you
not gonna
anywhere
rock
near
with
me.
you.
Therefore, I don't feel I need to forgive you for anything, because not forgiving you will constantly remind me of why I don't rock with you. If I forgive you, now I have no excuse in my head on why I shouldn't rock. Well, I forgave you for doing X, Y, and Z. So why am I not rocking with you? Well, I don't really know. I would rather, if you get one chance with me now.
Yeah.
You get one. I'm not forgiving you for shit.
Give me one more
No.
chance. Baby,
I'm not forgiving you for nothing, because look, because my intentions, no, it don't, no. You know who I am. You know who I am. You know what my intentions are. I'm gonna treat you a certain way. If I don't get that back, you don't get no test runs with me. I'm too old and got too much going on. It depends.
Anything.
Blatant disrespect.
Call me on my name.
Right.
Disrespect.
Blatant
Cut me over
disrespect.
on the road.
Oh,
It's
man.
war.
Oh,
It's
man.
war,
Like
baby.
them-
you didn't
that's
run. You
fighting
didn't go through that
actions.
yellow light and you stopped.
I keep batteries
You
in my
trying to
car
test
for
my
them.
insurance.
Y'all people
Okay?
that
I keep batteries. I keep batteries in the
You
whip.
trying to test my car insurance, boy?
I called the cops on the Karen.
See, okay, 916 Rockstar said the forgiveness is for your soul, brother, not your flesh. But my soul doesn't need to forgive you. The only person I need to forgive in this world is myself, for my past misfortune, for who I was before, and I'll forgive myself for me not being where I am, where I wanted to be at the current moment, so that I can keep going and I can further myself and get better. I don't need to forgive your soul. That's between you and whatever God you believe in. That's not for me.
Right, but that forgiveness, it is for yourself, because a lot of people, if you don't accept,
I forgive
that,
myself for letting myself rock with you in the first place.
exactly, and that's
that ain't got nothing to do with you.
That's what it's truly for.
You
It's
stay
for
over there.
yourself. I forgive. Okay, so I guess it's pretty much worded different when they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I forgive you," but it's really you're forgiving yourself
Yeah.
for your soul
I
of your
forgive
sanity.
me.
Because if you don't, you have so many people who will be like, "Man, I let this person do this to me," and I let them. You have to forgive
Right.
yourself for allowing that decision to
Right.
be made, and
But now
once you
that's
forgive
different.
yourself for that, then you're not bothered by the situation anymore, because I forgave myself. I forgive myself for allowing this
Yes.
person to talk to me this way, for
See,
allowing this
now
person
we-
to treat me that way.
Now we're on the same page.
But if you
like I
think
said,
that I'm gonna come around you again,
that's what I'm saying.
Nah,
If
son.
to me,
Nah,
if unless you are completely, so like people who are Catholic or believe in, going to confessionals and all that, right? When you are forgiven for your sins, you are clearly, they're washed away.
yeah.
That no longer even exists. That doesn't happen. So if you're going to say you forgive someone for something, then you don't have a reason to not treat them and have them in your favor like you had them before.
But
Right?
see, okay, so I guess it just truly depends on like each person, right? So I will still forgive somebody, and I still would wish nothing but the best for you. I wish nothing but the
Yeah.
best for you.
I guess
hope
it's
you're
just
like-
the way.
I hope-
I guess
hope-
it's just the phrase.
No, but
See,
like,
I just
I'm saying, like,
everybody
yeah.
keeps saying forgive, never forget. I'm like, that's backwards though. Why does it matter?
Because okay, so I would say I won't forget, because I will never let anyone allow me to feel that feeling when you did that thing
Right,
to me,
and to
as
me-
in forgetting.
to
You know
me,
what I'm
if I
saying?
can't-
forgetting that feeling.
To me, if I can't forget it, then I can't forgive you. If it's big enough to where I
But
will
it's
never
not, it's not
forget it,
necessarily that one person. It's situational. Never
That's
let
what I mean,
I'm
though.
never forgetting how I felt in that moment. So I'm never letting anybody else put me in a predicament to feel that way.
right? So for me, that's unforgivable. If that moment was big enough for me to be like, I'm never forgetting this, so I never feel like this again, that's an unforgivable offense.
But wouldn't that be everything?
Sheesh, that sounds
No.
like
But no,
like
but
some
like
rap
every
lyrics.
okay, so
For
everything
real, I'm about to
everything
write
is like
bars after
so
this.
everything would be unforgivable then, because if you let
If it's
you
making me not want to be around you anymore, or we have to split ways, that's unforgivable. Like if something happens, if I accidentally do something and didn't really mean to, and it offended you or like made you feel
Right.
some kind of way, and I apologized and you forgave me for that, like I know we good. Like I know you didn't intentionally mean to make me feel that way. You didn't intentionally mean to do me dirty. Then I can forgive you for that and we can move on. It's a lesson learned and we can move on and we can be good. No love lost. But if you've done something that I feel is intentional and you've intentionally gone out of your way to do me
harm
dirty, now you're at the point where I don't feel, because then what happens when that person redoes that to you, you feel like the fool because you allowed them to do it again.
And I guess I mean like forget in every situation. So like if I give somebody this money and they don't return it back to me or whatever, okay, I'm not forgetting how that you took my money or anything else. Or
what's up, cocaine bars?
If you know did something wrong or I don't know, I'm not forgetting that situation because now I'm gonna watch out for if another person comes along if they have those same traits.
It's the principle.
You look like you gonna do what what's the name did.
See, so look, but that's what I'm saying. Isn't that you forgave them, but the next person now has to deal with what you claimed you forgave.
But you don't forget the situations, and I feel like that's the life's lesson. You don't forget the lesson. Yeah, you don't forget the lesson.
I think it's all a matter of semantics when it comes to this conversation. It's semantics because people get stuck on the whole idea of forgiving and this and that, and what we're talking about is pretty much the same thing, it's whatever works for your soul. So for me, like I said, I hold words very sacred. So for me to say the institution behind the word forgive to me fully means that situation is noted and thrown in the trash. Can't be brought up again. The feelings can't be rehashed. The feelings aren't still harbored. I forgive you. That is a straight closed it. That slate is wiped clean. You can't if you can't do that. Deuces.
For me, like I might not ever mess with you over the smallest thing, but because it's the principle of
fact.
You did it. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be something big.
It's intentions to me. It's all about intentions.
Definitely intentions.
That's
because
all it
people
is.
say
and
sorry
it's not a touchy
behavior
subject, bro. Look, once you come around and watch this show
Yep.
more, you'll understand that we get into these kind of conversations, and we might sound like it's touchy or getting loud, but this is how we rock. We talk. You're supposed to have these conversations. It's supposed to get heated like this
within your groups, your friends, your families. Then that's how everything gets swept up under the rug, and people just feel one-sided, or
these uncomfortable conversations.
Exactly, or you have a blow up at the Thanksgiving dinner because now everybody mad because you ain't forgive me. Well, what should that like? Everybody
you will never offend anybody in this room, bro. Trust me. Look, and the best part about it is why the three of us can sit here and have these conversations like this is because we know everything we're talking about. None of us will ever do that to each other.
Yeah,
we have that relationship and we're family so closely that none of us will ever. And even if down the road one of us maybe would have, then these conversations will definitely stop that. Because now everybody in this room knows each other's intentions very clearly, and everybody in this room can operate and move in a way that is conducive to what we all want to get done, which is succeed and grow our team and grow our business.
Now this conversation is going to take a whole other turn.
We got Next Radio, right? Hey, thank you for stopping by, man.
King Native said, and this is hubby. And
here we go.
It's going to take a whole turn.
We already talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about this before. He said, if Kujo believe in a God and expect God to forgive him, why can't you forgive someone but ignore them?
Because I don't believe in a God.
So that's gonna be the whole
I
dilemma.
believe in God, but God forgives you, not me.
I believe in the fact that they're forgiving us for that guy,
but not me.
I believe in a fact that there's something else out in the cosmos that possibly has its hand on everything and making things happen or whatever. But I do not believe in one entity, one person up there pulling the puppet strings and all. I just don't. To me, I feel like, and I've battled with this all my life, and my wife and I have been talking about this a lot recently because she grew up in the churches and she was in ministry, and she was like, the reason why she was even married to the guy she was and had those kids was because the prophecy said she was supposed to be a preacher's wife and da-da-da. So trust me, my family has been deeply rooted in religion, and I just feel like I'm following my soul and my gut when I say I don't believe in the institution of religion as it is here on earth and as everybody else believes in it. I believe in that there is something doing something up there, and I feel like I can't be wrong because whatever it is doing that has given me these thoughts. And I'm not out here. Look, I'm not out here stealing. I'm not out here killing. I'm not out doing anything wrong to anybody. I'm living my life the right way, like they say you should in that book that you believe in. And if that's what you believe in, and that's what keeps you on the narrow path, do you. But I'm going to do me.
And that's the beauty of our show, because everyone is allowed to have their own opinions, their own outlook on life, and nothing that I, him, you, people say can possibly change that
No.
perspective besides you and the person that's up
Right.
there, the God that's up there of who
I'm here
you
to learn.
choose.
I'm always here to
So
learn.
the
I
only
learn
person
from
that
you,
can change that
you.
perspective is
Yeah.
that person. But that's
Yeah.
why to A1
916
916 Rockstar, watching the show, we allow each other to have a different point of view and
Yeah.
not shame or blame one another. And I think that's what's wrong with society. We always want people to see it from our point of view, and no one will ever see life out of your perspective.
There you go. I
Like,
like that.
No
Said-
one will ever have your eyes. Just like how they say beauty is in the hands of the beholder.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see something from someone else. So
What if he got
doesn't
butterfingers? I want him to drop them.
You know what's funny? I actually heard that slogan on the episode of Catfish when this girl had a glass eye.
Oh,
Like,
no.
and I am not kidding. Neve said that. Neve said
Did
that
she
on
pop
that
it out?
episode. She did. And he was like, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. She was holding her glass eyeball. Like, I am not kidding.
Neve.
Catfish used to throw shade.
Yeah.
Catfish used to throw shade.
Rockstar said
But-
different outlooks on life brings constructive knowledge.
It
That's what I'm
does.
talking about. So look, this is the mission of this show. Like
Mhm.
we have very strong opinions, and we have very as much as we're alike, and as much as we agree on a lot of things, we disagree on just as many things.
Yeah.
And
it's
we
okay to
value
it's,
that.
It's okay to agree to disagree.
We value that. Just because I think the problem in the world today is everybody links up with people that think exactly like they think, and they call that their team.
And that's why you got Ye tweeting like that.
Exactly.
Because everybody just thinking it's okay. No, you gotta
You
have
gotta
people
have
that'll
a
be like,
bunch of
no,
people-
don't do that.
She
I
is.
am,
You
of
know
course,
she-
but
you know
you
she
know,
is.
you know I am. But
I'm like yay doing yay.
I can still
I'm
call
very
it
neutral,
state. You
'cause I
know,
don't
he's
really-
still he's still trolling, and he still
Yeah, he's
shouldn't be
definitely
doing all
trolling
that.
for sure.
But you know, he obviously has a path. But
I would
you have
say
to have
so.
people around you that can put you in your place when you're wrong.
Yeah.
That can say, okay, you disagree that way, and still support you. Listen, there may be people who agree with exactly what you say, who believe in what you read, and praise to who you pray, but behind closed doors are doing the complete opposite of what you're doing. So I mean,
That's what I was
we
gonna
really-
say.
Yeah, it's
That's
a lot of hypocrites.
how
out
come
here.
how come nobody on this planet? Okay, and I just thought of this point. There's 7.2 billion people on this planet, right? Last time I looked it up. And everybody's supposed to be as different as a snowflake, right? Everybody's fingerprints, everybody's thought processes, everything's different in every individual, right?
Mhm.
So why would it not be alarming if someone else is telling you they believe and act just like you? If they believe in exactly the same things, they operate exactly the same way you do, they do everything is just the same as you. Why would that not ring an alarm to you if
It's
everybody's so different?
7.753 billion.
7.753.
2020.
Right.
You know, people was having them babies.
Oh, they was
back.
knocking
It's
them
more
out.
than that.
Right. So how is it not alarming to anybody if somebody's talking about they feel, think, and believe just like you do? If we're all so different, how can that be possible?
How, Sway?
How, Sway?
Wow.
You don't got the answers, Sway.
In 6 years, we're gonna come back and say,
So-
allegedly, we did have the answer.
We
had
had
the
the
format,
answer.
and according to
You can't agree with everybody, man.
calculation.
Stop trying to agree with everybody. And not agreeing doesn't make y'all cool. Agreeing doesn't make y'all family. Agreeing doesn't make you safe from being mistreated by those people.
People hate on you when they disagree.
No,
But
I
be
don't
okay.
hate on
but
you. You're
be
not supposed to be
okay-
right all the damn
Be
time.
okay
Relax.
to give knowledge and allow that person to either accept or decline the
That's the
knowledge.
problem.
Instead
That's
of
the
trying to
problem.
force the knowledge upon someone and then
That's the
getting mad
problem.
because they don't want to accept
But
it.
you know, and
Our
in my
job
life,
is to give knowledge and hope that one can receive it. But if they choose not to receive, that is on them, their well-being, and between who and whoever they possibly believe in.
well, there's
you know?
there's egocentrism involved because the people that are trying to give the knowledge are like, this is the facts, this is the true way, and if you don't
Yeah.
listen to what I'm saying, you're wrong, right?
So I watch. Do you guys watch This Is Us?
That is my favorite. Was my favorite show.
Okay,
of
so
all
did
time.
you see how on that one episode they gave the example of how it was the Super Bowl and one half of the world, they pressed up shirts for both teams at the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
One team actually won, but they shipped the Super Bowl shirts of the team that lost overseas. And when they shipped it overseas, the other half of the world thought that this was the winners of the championship. So you have two different sides of the world who this side thinks that the Bears won, and then this side thinks that the Lions won when
poor
the
guys.
Lions actually lost and the Bears actually won. But you have
Facts.
two different perspectives because of how
Right.
it was delivered. So that's how life is in general. Everyone's going to have their different
And both
perspectives and
shirts
think.
are comfortable.
And you can't tell the other people across the world that like, no, they did not win. Like I got the
No
shirt to
way.
prove it. They did win.
I got the
How
shirt
can
to
you
say they didn't.
How can you convince them otherwise? You know?
And that's my other point too. Like, what's
No,
the
it
point?
came straight from the factory.
What is it gonna do for your soul to make them know you? Oh, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, you're right. Like, what does that do for you? Somebody saying, yeah, you're right. Like, do you have that big of an ego? Yeah.
They always try to convince you of something instead of letting you believe.
Yeah.
in something, right?
It's
No,
more.
it's-
It's definitely more of a
Yeah.
belief than a convincing because if you
Golly,
convince
what
someone,
time
then
is
that
it?
means
Oh,
that
we
they,
always do this.
I
right?
know we always do this, but no, we started early today
Because my wife
Like,
and I started talking about it. I know a lot of people hate talking about religion, but me and my wife talked about this on the way to Kentucky and the way back. We got deeply into this because she went through what she went through in the church and all that stuff, right? But she's not like into the church and deeply into that anymore, but she still believes what she believes in God and the Bible and all that, right? So me just being literally devil's advocate, I was like bringing up points of like how things make sense. And one of the main things that I've always had an issue with is the fact that you can't even question.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed
Yeah.
to question the word.
I agree with that.
So to me, I said I was telling her like, okay,
that's what makes people scared. of
well,
it.
because think about practically in your life, right? Like your kids.
Yeah.
What do you do when they question you? Don't question me. I'm your parent. You're not even supposed to question me, and you for fear
That's true.
of them getting that butt whooped if they question you, right? You're supposed to
Because
just do what
said
I
so.
say because I said, right? Now, when they get older and they ask you why you used to say that, you're like, because I didn't really know what the hell I was talking about in the first place. You just needed to do what I needed you to do, right? So how does that make any sense practically, right? If somebody came up to you and were like, you need to do this, you'd be like, why? Right? And if they were like, you can't question me or I'm gonna you'd be like, get the hell out of my face.
Yeah.
In any other scenario besides the scenario of
And sometimes I feel like with teaching, it's easier to teach by physical than verbal.
right.
And I say physical because
You
it's
be beating the
easier
hell out
to
of them
teach
kids.
not beating your kids, but it's easier to teach if you can just have someone mimic your kindness, your good thoughts, your loyalty, all those things instead. I mean, yes, still trying to explain it to them, but showing them what a good person, what a good, child or person of God is, showing them that versus telling them, because that's also what conflicts kids too. You're telling me this, but you're living this way too. Or you tell me not to lie, but then when the bill collector calls, you tell me you're not home, but you sitting right there, mom, but you tell me don't be a liar.
Exactly.
Like we have to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay,
like,
so what's the difference between a white lie and a real lie?
yeah, what's a black lie? I ain't got it.
Black lies, definitely.
I ain't got it. I need to make a shirt to say Black Lives Matter.
Literally. And all of them matter. Because then, people get to do those, like, I'm going to call you right back because the air just came in my house. Like, okay, girl, just say you don't want to talk.
What? I used to love that one. That one was for real, though. That one was for real. I got to call you back after 9, homie. My anytime minutes. At least, like, bro, it's 10:30 anyway. Like,
but I think the common ground of our show and just us and the dynamic that we're creating in the universe and the world and in entertainment is having these taboo and uncomfortable conversations, right? But still, again, being respectful of each other's opinions and showing people how it's done. Because again, at the end of the day, people lead by example. Right. If you are being good role models and good leaders, then things will happen. And we've talked about that before with parents are like, go to school, get a good education so you can get a good job. But yet you didn't go to school and you didn't do this. So they're looking up to the adults for those things.
I always point at, so like my wife, she was a virgin until she was married, right? And went to church and did all those things, right? And then her first marriage didn't work out and she had these kids and whatever. So when she's telling like my daughters, like, oh man, you should not do this or not do that, even though I obviously don't want them to have sex or do any of that stuff, I have to call her out and be like, baby, you were a virgin till you were like 21, and you were in the church, and you were and look how that worked out. So I'm like, so you have to be honest. You have to be honest when you talk to our daughters about that kind of thing, because you can't just perpetuate what everybody else does and say, if you do this and you do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, still we need to tell them the dangers and don't do X, Y, and Z things, but don't use it as like, you have to do this now because you tried that route and it didn't work for you.
Again, I think that goes into more of explaining and teaching
Right.
by action, because like you said, to just tell a kid, don't do this, or don't have a boyfriend, or don't do this, or don't have sex. Now that's going to make them more curious instead of telling them
it
like
made me.
Yeah,
you know, growing up in a strict household, that's, you know, my dad wasn't even that strict, but you know, he had his own religious beliefs, but he wasn't strict on us with them, you know, but still, like, can't do this, can't do that, you know, can't have boyfriend, can't have this, can't have that. It's like, I'm like, why?
Right.
Instead of having that,
I want to know why. I want to see if they're wrong.
Instead of having those explanations of, okay, so you shouldn't have sex before this age because, or until you finally meet someone, because if you do it too early, then you won't understand or appreciate the value. It's an emotional connection. Or, you know, don't date anyone unless you truly feel that this person is someone that you can see you're marrying for the rest of your life, because then that stops them from just having frivolous girlfriends. But without having those explanations and talks with them, they don't understand, because everyone else in the world is doing it. So then you're automatically going to get that.
Here's the crappy part.
Everyone else is doing it.
Here's the crappy part about parenting, though.
Go jump off a bridge then.
The crappy part about parenting is you got to realize too, no matter what you tell them, they're their own humans, and they're coming into growing up. So you could be like, oh, well, don't do it because this reason, that reason, this reason, and they'll be like, well, I don't care if the X, Y, and Z happens, and then you're like, huh? Like, that doesn't bug me. Like, I don't want to.
Well, don't
like,
sell your Johnny for a pack of Newports. That's
right.
on you,
That's
Stacey.
what at that point.
Okay, I did my job.
At that point, I'm like, me and my wife had to talk about that, like with our oldest daughter, because what she wants to do and what she feels like we're not letting her do and all that. And I'm like, look, babe, at this point, all we can do is give her the wisdom that, or whatever we think is the wisdom that we have and that we've gleaned from the world and our experiences.
And letting her know that we don't.
This isn't how the route I want you to go down. But in 2 years, or in a year now, when she's 18, she's gonna move out and she's gonna do whatever the hell she wants. So that's not to say we're gonna let her start doing what she wants, but there's a certain level of
making her own decisions.
There's a certain level of letting her have a little more freedom, you know, within reason. Like, we're not gonna allow her to do certain things still because we're her parents and that ain't happening. I'm not taking care of no babies. We gotta and
trust.
I would say trust, but verify.
Trust, borderlines, and boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I trust you to do this, but there's still a restriction until you're old enough to understand how to do this by yourself.
So
like,
instead of saying we don't want you to do it because we're your parents, say we don't want you to do it until you get to an age to understand.
I don't even say that, because it's not even about understanding, because it's still at 18. You might still not understand. I break it down to real, and people tell me all the time,
don't get me wrong.
You get out of the house and
I think it's the stupidest thing that one day when you wake up,
you're all of a sudden supposed to get
high
it.
school.
All of a sudden supposed to figure out where to live and how to survive. I think that's the
balance money,
but guess
go
what?
grocery shopping.
But guess what? That's why I started teaching my kids really young. And people are like, don't make them grow up too fast. I'm like, shh, but they 18, they getting out the house. They grown. You're grown. You're legally grown.
To get out the house, or is there option to get out the house?
It all depends. There's an option, but at the same time, I'm going to treat you like you're a grown adult. If you're still here, you're paying me rent. You're doing this, you're doing that. You're doing the same. And you don't have the run of the mill. You can't do whatever you want.
What are you doing with their rent?
Putting that towards the bills.
Okay, so I do
not
agree.
Look,
to
hold
that.
on. Listen.
we had the similar upbringing.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So like my boys, okay.
Like, give me 10% of your check.
No, I make. Okay, so look, we do
Don't
make our
forget.
kids pay some bills because they have jobs. So they pay their phone bill and they pay the insurance for their car.
Okay,
they do pay that. They don't pay us rent. But my agreement with my sons, so they want to get into real estate and all that, right? So I keep right. I told them they're supposed to hit you up. So I told them that I think it would be wise for them to stay with us another year so they're not wasting money on rent to do now. What you guys are talking about, making them paying rent and keeping it on the side for them, is once you start teaching them responsibilities and bills and teaching them how to balance checkbooks and stuff like that. My kids have already been doing that. We've been making them pay phone bills
But
and
I
all that.
wouldn't even put it at that. Like if my kids, so my goal, when my kids turn 18, yes, they're moving out, but they're moving out because I'm purchasing a 3-bedroom apartment for all of them to co-live, or they will still live with me. But the money that they give me, yes, I'm putting that up for their kids' in a savings, in a trust, in a fund, to where now we're creating generational wealth.
But hold on though. But wait, time out. See, look, and now we're gonna have to continue because I know we're not gonna be done.
Life is creating generational wealth.
But here's what but I feel like you're disabling them a little bit though, because as much as they're grown or they have the illusion of being grown, being on their own, having their apartment, mommy's still making sure there's money put away so they don't F it up.
No, I'm not putting money away for
You're
them.
putting it away for their kids and
I'm
whatever.
putting money away for
their
my
job.
kids. No, that's not their job.
It's their job to protect their kids.
Was it the civil rights movement job to make sure that we can have the right living and equally? Like, no, they thought way beyond themselves to try to change things for the whole entire
Hold on. If you want their kids, no, because you're not taking care of them. You're tricking them into taking care of their kids.
No, I'm not tricking them.
If
They
you're
will
saying
know
they're
what it's
paying
going
you
towards.
the rent and you're going to put it away for their kids, how about you teach them that it's important for them to save for their kids instead of you having to back end put their money in a savings?
It's going to all be in the same thing. It's just going to be a 401k. We trust a job to
a 401k.
No, seriously, we trust a job to put up a 401k out of our checks. Not us, but most people, when they work at establishments, they trust a 401k to put money up for their families. So why not teach my children how to create their own 401k, since we are independent contractors and entrepreneurships, to give back to each generation, because that's how the wealth continue to be wealth. They pass it down. That's how Paris Hilton is a Hilton, because the Hilton daddy thought that way for them to live a life.
But I just mean, and you gotta understand what I'm saying, as far as, like I said, processes and words and all that shit mean a lot to me. So if you're saying you're going to purchase that 3-bedroom and they're going to pay rent, but that rent isn't for rent, is going into savings for their kids, I would rather directly be like, hey, okay, so you have to use this money and put this money that you're making into a savings for your kids, and have them putting that money away instead of paying you the rent for you to put
the pot. Whoever puts into the pot, it don't matter, because the pot needs to continue to grow.
Facts, and
they won't really have a mortgage or a rent, because the house will be paid for and bought.
But that's what I mean.
So,
instead of them giving you the money for you to put into something, I would encourage
it wouldn't be
them
necessarily
to
me.
teach
It would
them and
still be
tell
like
them
the
to do
family
it.
pot.
I
Like
see what
right
you're
now,
saying.
like me and my family, we have like a family pot. It don't matter who puts what in, but it goes to the kids, the next kids, the generational kids. So that's all I'm saying. Like,
I'm just
creating,
more of
like,
a fan of.
generational
I'm more of a fan
wealth.
of upfront and direct teaching than like, oh, you gotta, like, say my kids were giving us the money for their phone and for their insurance, thinking it was for the phone and for the insurance. And then I was really like protecting them by putting it somewhere else. And then one day,
I'm not saying like stash money. Like, no, my children know, like, already.
You got kids. Oh my god! So then at the end of the day, like, wait a minute, you've been lying to me, and I had 20K this whole time.
Me and my husband and like our family, like, we do still want to put together like a surprise fund, because it's nothing like, when a family member died, most of the time it's a surprise debt of we have to pay this off. I would like for a surprise fund to be left to my kids or whatever, to where it's like, oh my gosh, we knew that we had this much in our stock portfolio, but they left us an extra that's a bonus. But
definitely want to do that
with having like regulations to, like, how on the Ghost, where Tariq couldn't touch that money until he was 18 with stipulations. Like, we're setting ours up for that, because when you are young and you get bukus of money, you don't know what to do with it. But having some type of degree, a structure, will help you be able to maintain this money, be able to reinvest it, to put it in the right places. Because like you said, 20,000 could be gone in 2 months,
2 weeks.
and
okay,
it was quick.
Like,
I didn't know what I'd buy.
It was gone, right?
Girl,
What?
her head
She
will
gonna
be
buy.
blown off.
She gonna buy one.
I would be on the plane.
Nah, you buying one pre-roll.
She gonna be on.
She go. I got the most expensive pre-roll on the planet. 20K.
Snoop Dogg is smoking with me.
I'm smoking that 20K pre-roll.
She gonna have the biggest doobie there is.
Turns out it's just a whole bunch of Reggies, and they just charge you.
Look,
They just charge you $20K for it.
Did you know that
20K
he
worth of
stopped
Reggies.
smoking?
I stopped smoking everything. I don't smoke weed, cigarettes. I don't drink caffeine anymore. I'm fine.
She said, "Are you okay?" He's twitching.
I quit everything. It's been about 3 weeks now. September 21st was the last time I had a cigarette, weed, caffeine.
And then he had a heart monitor for like
I had
the
a heart
the
monitor
next
on.
week.
I started having really bad palpitations and chest pains. And no, that was why I quit. That's why I quit putting anything in my body that's not water or nutrients. Because I'm having issues. I started having pains and palpitations and all of that, and there's something wrong.
That's
them energy drinks. I know, I quit those too.
You drink 4 or 5 of them. That has nothing to do with weed.
I didn't say it was the weed's fault. Look, just because I quit, how about this? Weed. I can't even come over here no more, man.
Sorry, I can't.
I feel like it's not helping me, and it's not making me more productive, and it's not pushing me towards my goals. And anything that's not in service of me furthering my progress, I don't need it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nothing against it. Yeah, it's the same way. Nothing against it. And I still love the effects of marijuana. Look, if you ever, I got you.
You have one in hand.
Look, I'm gonna get in the car. There's a pack of gummies in my pocket. Like, where'd this come from?
I'm gonna put it back in my purse.
I can give them to Johnny. But I haven't seen Johnny since I quit smoking weed. I was just kidding, Johnny. I love you.
What's the reason?
I went back to work. We came back to work. Conveniently, we came back to work like right around the time. Can't even talk to you no more.
Can't talk to sober.
Shut up, Petey. Petey's like, I like all of it.
Sober you.
Petey moved to Texas, so you out there smoking weed, eating edibles, smoking
Let
weed.
me know if you see Sandy Cheeks out there.
Sandy Cheeks. Who?
From SpongeBob.
Oh my God! Oh, you know a famous porn star? The famous porn star from Texas? Sandy Cheeks?
Only nasty people don't.
Petey might take that name and become Sandy Cheeks. Y'all better watch out.
It's Sandy from SpongeBob. She was from
She hit me with some Kim Possible stuff the other day, and I was like, huh? You know that song too?
Thank you. Looks
she was talking about beat me, page me.
Call me, beat me. If you
he's back in Cali, so he's definitely smoking that good now.
Me. She had a pager.
Beat me.
And they would call her. Beep, beep, boop, boop. And that's how she would know that it was a crime. Ron, what's going on? Kim, there's a burglary on 5th Street. I need you to get there immediately.
These kids, man.
Oh. I have to watch the show. I'm sorry, I can't even understand. Right. And she be going ham on it.
Was young. That was like the 90s. It came on around.
I wasn't living here.
You're right.
Some of her episodes.
You're right. It came on during like Proud Family years.
I used to be SpongeBob like that.
Yeah, SpongeBob's my joint too.
And why aren't you in uniform?
Oh my God.
You're being a Squidward right now.
Squidward.
Oh no. I've forever hated that show. I would not allow. I remember when my daughter was coming up and I was flicking through commercials to try her channel. And no, absolutely not. It would come on and I'd be like, no. I'd get mad and like.
Did you let her watch the Powerpuff Girls?
I would. I used to like Powder. Yeah, I used to watch that too. I watched that. I used to watch that. I used to watch St. Jude, Nevada. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys.
I should be like obsessed over.
Mojo Jojo?
No, no. What's the guy from Fairy Odd Parents? A teacher.
I can't remember his name.
Fairy Odd Parents. I'm about to tell y'all his name.
My goodness.
Oh
my! What time is it?
And then have David be the green.
Oh, we could.
Mr.
Crocker. I'm gonna be Mr. Crocker.
Yeah, you know what's really funny?
I'm gonna look at posters.
You know what's funny? We're talking about Fairly Odd Parents right now, and y'all seen the TikTok trend of Fairly Odd Parents where you play the sound and you look around the room and they say you always see Wanda and what's his face? Look to your right.
Wow, Wanda and Cosmo.
Stop.
Sorry.
Oh man,
I'm beating y'all ass.
What a productive show! What a productive show we've
go around finding posers.
Yeah, we're about to go
every time. He's a poser.
Gotta.
Yep. Oh,
Gotta.
Remember that?
Since you're acting
Yeah.
So uppity.
Recess, Doug.
The worst.
What was the
I
other one?
remember that.
Rugrats,
What about Wild Thornberries?
DuckTales. Man. I thought Old Boy was hilarious. I used to like that part. I liked him.
I feel like
but
my kids are like Wild Thornberries, like,
Yeah. I think all kids got a little bit of Wild Thornberry in them.
and Nigel.
Before they can talk
City boy.
perfectly. Goodness gracious.
Dog, that is crazy.
I don't know why I do
I
this
thought you
show
were
with
gonna
y'all.
say I thought you were gonna say like your cartoon show used to be like what was that show? Oh my goodness. It was he had the Dukes of Hazzard.
No.
Dukes
I
ahead.
think
No.
that's so old.
My Hey Arnold. Wifey said Hey Arnold. That definitely was one of mine.
Hey Arnold. Oh yeah, what hell?
One of my favorite ones was one that nobody ever even remembers.
What? What was it?
Almost.
What was
It was called Widget the World Watcher. And he had a little brain on his watch that would pop up and but nobody ever remembers Widget. I don't understand why. I think it's because if you living where I lived at, we got the Canadian
Bro.
channels. So I used to watch we got the Canadian channels. I don't know if it was a Canadian
Yeah, because
cartoon.
it came out in 1990s, 1991.
Facts.
I don't. It only had 2 seasons.
I was still
So
being-
I was on the
why.
bottom floor of the
being
movement.
produced.
I was on the bottom floor of the movement, man. That was my show. I think it came on right around Wishbone. I think came on after that. I have to look at the lineup.
Wishbone.
It's not a show I made up. Google it.
I used to watch this.
I tell you about that show
Courage
all
the
the time.
Cowardly Dog.
That was
Johnny
my
Bravo
jam.
and Johnny Bravo.
But
Johnny
see,
Bravo,
now you're
Johnny
late.
Bravo.
You're late '90s, right? At that point,
It's just like all of them.
Early.
I'm saying that.
Ed,
Yeah, Johnny
Ed,
Bravo
and
and stuff.
Eddie.
That was all later in the
Was it?
like 2000s, I believe.
That's when I moved here. when all
Okay.
that stuff was popular.
Avery and Beavers. What's that?
Who?
Avery and Beavers.
Don't know
Sounds like a
what it is.
porno.
Futurama.
My favorite cartoons will always be the
Futurama
old
is
school
newer, I
cartoons.
believe.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
Rick and Morty, Futurama, like the Cartoon Network.
I watch Rick and Morty on shrooms, y'all.
It's a trippy show.
That's
It's
what
a trippy
friend
show
said.
without
that friend
shrooms.
told me that.
I've heard from. I
Yeah,
heard.
somebody told me.
I heard
heard
around the
from
world.
somebody.
Yeah, 'cause, sometimes they go like real.
Scooby-Doo?
Yo, yeah,
Did y'all watch
they're
Scooby-Doo?
different. Everybody watched Scooby-Doo. The new one or the old school? The
old
Jetsons.
school.
Oh, the
Rocket
Jetsons.
Power. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like Jetsons. Do y'all remember what was it? Was it the dinosaur one? Not the mama. What was that
Dragon
show
Tales?
called? No, it was like it wasn't a cartoon. It wasn't a cartoon. Look up
Not the mama.
not the mama. It'll pop
Tell
up.
it,
What am I
Tubbies.
talking about?
Not
It
the
was like
Mama Dinosaur.
dinosaurs.
Boy.
What was that show called? Power
Um,
Rangers. Yes.
Baby.
We said Johnny.
It was Baby Sinclair from. Was it Hatchlings?
Well, that wasn't what it was called.
Was the show Not the Mama? I see what you're
No.
talking about when he has the.
Let me see.
Yeah, what kind of dinosaurs are you talking about?
I think it was Not the Mama show, the dinosaur show. What TV show is Not the Mama from? Baby Sinclair.
What is that?
That couldn't have been the name of that show.
Or what
That was
about Molly?
that was
Y'all
his
remember
name.
Molly the Big Comfy Couch.
Dragon Tales.
No.
It wasn't Dragon,
Dragon
Tales.
Tales was fire.
No, it
Molly the
wasn't.
Big Comfy Couch, where she used to roll on the big old
No.
carpet and be like.
Did you ever watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I did watch the.
That was the
Teenage
jam.
Witch.
But then now you're getting into that was when we transitioned from cartoons
To
to
like-
like Gilmore
yeah.
Girls and
Degrassi.
what was the first of the OC?
Yeah, the OC.
OC, what is that?
That was like one of the first reality
Flavor
shows,
of
I
Love.
believe.
That was my favorite reality show.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go on an old school
Yeah,
old
but-
school show watching.
That still
All
was
them
that
women
still was
that
the
kissed
gimmick.
him.
And Foofy.
Goofy.
That was a whole.
Aren't they
gimmick.
still together?
No.
Didn't they just have a? Didn't they have a baby together? Or she had a baby?
No.
Whose baby is it?
But Delicious slept with him, so nobody can ever forget.
Oh, I hope she
You
didn't
cannot
really.
erase that.
I hope that was all TV magic.
I hope so. Oh, Fun Size Clark. Hey, girl. How you doing?
Hey, we outside in the
Hey.
building.
Foofy. I don't know what year they broke up,
Ugh,
but I know that they're not still
I
together.
just know the show was my favorite reality show. It was
Gross.
The best ratchetness. and
Gross.
The best drama.
what was the
When that girl
one with
cooked that
the
whole
twin?
turkey in a
What was the one with the brothers?
Real Chance of Love.
Yeah.
That
Well, I
one was
remember
funny.
that.
Oh,
Well, I
God.
remember that.
VH1 fell off went off the rails when they started doing all those. I'm pretty sure they're still
remember,
doing them.
Remember Schoolgirls House of School, where Nikki Parker she tried to like teach them etiquette.
School of Charm.
Yes,
Or
School of
Charm School or
Charm.
something
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mhm.
Wifey in Living Color. That's Classic.
I
Absolute
never
classic.
watched that. I was too young.
Excuse me?
I was too young.
Oh yeah.
I remember like
there
the
was
Jamie
some.
Foxx show.
Okay,
or,
so
like,
now that you're an
and
adult,
Martin.
ask your parents if you're allowed to watch it now because you need to catch up. Yikes!
But you know what?
Because you an adult
I
and you
don't
still haven't seen
know.
it.
I haven't. See, in certain shows
Hated
that
it.
in certain shows that like I feel like I can't go back and rewatch. Now.
You can.
Like
it's timeless.
I don't know.
Wayne's Brothers. That's another
I
one.
did watch Wayne's Brothers.
Okay.
I love Wayne's Brothers.
And Living Color was the start of skit shows. When he his show,
like,
the Jamie Foxx show, or as a comedian?
Character.
Really?
Like him playing on it, it don't give me what
when
it's
he does
supposed
Wanda,
to give.
or no, what's the name?
Like when Martin did Shanae, like it wasn't too over the top, but I feel like I mean some of it, but it wasn't over the top.
I know what you
where
mean.
It felt
when
like
he did.
It was.
I forget what he called his.
Was
it
What's
Wanda
up, DJ,
or whatever? I forget
Wade?
what he called it, but
What's up, Kimi Casanova?
DJ Wade posted something. He was doing his little hip thrust dance today on Instagram.
Hey,
It was
you
hilarious.
DJ Wade. Hey,
you see that one?
Get it.
And I commented on it. I'm like, I blame DJ BJ for that because if you watch DJ BJ, he's like, I'm giving out classes and stuff. He be doing that all the time.
Classes.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Oh man, my
Listen,
stomach hurt from laughing today.
I literally have had to use the bathroom since like 30 minutes ago.
We know Fresh Prince. Everybody knows Fresh Prince.
If you don't know Fresh Prince, then
Have you watched the new Fresh Prince, Rockstar?
I have, and the seasons is.
Speaking of which,
fire.
We did interview Ollie, who is Carlton on that show, and we have not aired his interview yet, but we will be airing that soon. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that interview is gonna be fire.
There's a lot going on, man. Hotspot tomorrow, you will see.
And DJ Wade's supposed to be on the network, just like
what's up, DJ Wade?
But he never hit me up about it, so I'm putting it out there in front of everybody.
Taking you off my buddy list.
I'm putting it out there on everybody.
Woah Wednesday.
Point them out. Point them out. Point them out. Point them out.
We calling you out.
See, 916 Rockstar is the same place I was at, where he's like, he hasn't watched the new one because he doesn't want it to mess it up. Like,
it's not.
It won't.
Listen, it's not going to mess it up.
It's
really,
not trying to be like the old one.
Yeah.
It's a whole different offshoot.
And
So I would say check it out.
I think that's the part that people
Check
have
it
to
out.
separate with the new one.
Separate it. It's
They
actually
have
dope.
Let
I'm a person that compares it to the
let the classics be the classics and watch it for like just kind of
It's a new show.
relearning, like with the refill.
It's
like
giving homage to the old show, and it has the same character ideas, but they're different people.
Yeah,
Will is
they
different.
Switched,
Hillary's
Hillary
different. Like it's
Jeffrey
different.
is completely different. Like because the way that they made Jeffrey on the old episodes was like Jeffrey couldn't even sit at the family table. But this season Jeffrey is a part of the family. Like he makes decisions with them. Like Hillary before was a ditzy, didn't know anything. On this one, Hillary is very business savvy. Like she got her own going on. So I like.
And she a dark skin.
Yeah, and she's dark skinned. A lot of people didn't like the fact that Carlton did like. Anxiety drugs on here and not on
you
the
didn't
other
like
one.
the
No, I mean
so he's a druggie and I can't take
no. I defended the role. Yeah, he was snorting Xannies.
He be going down.
But I defended it because I can understand it, but a lot of people didn't. Because people are under that pressure, like they feel like I gotta be perfect. So being perfect, they feel like they have to turn to a drug or drinking.
He was snorting.
He was snorting it.
That's how you know she ain't never did drugs.
Right,
she said,
"Poor baby." Right. What she do?
Dang, what machine you got that broke that down and made it align that quick?
What were you breaking down?
Let's sell that on a.
I guess was I supposed to chop it and not beat it?
Got it.
What are you?
Wait,
you would have wasted all the drugs.
Do y'all remember that commercial that used to promote the slap chop?
Yes, I
slap
love
my
it.
Nuts, chop my nuts. That's the slap chop.
You made that one up.
You never seen?
I remember the slap chop.
Oh,
I remember the slap chop, but I don't remember no slap my nuts.
Now,
yeah, she
now
did.
I gotta look up the slap chop.
And then chopped it, and then she snorted up here. So I don't know if you threw it up in the air. She
You
didn't.
didn't see me. I went down to the cutting board.
Oh. He was doing it out of a shoehorn.
Oh, you're so innocent. I know your parents listening. They're so proud that you never done.
I told you she made that up. See,
as far as I feel like an idiot.
Rockstar even said you made that up. Slap my nuts, chop my nuts.
Maybe I saw the hood version of it.
You watched the Tubi commercial.
So you were on.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I saw the remix of the slap
Man,
chop.
give me that jar. We already over time.
Man. We are
What's
over
Goodness
time.
gracious.
So we do positive affirmations
Oh, yeah.
daily on our show now.
You will get affirmed. You shall be affirmed.
Hey, master.
We're
Actually,
going a little
since
bit
you're here,
over.
you get to
It's
pick
okay.
one.
It's fine. Who's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
You haven't been here in a while. Yeah,
You
welcome
get
back.
to pick
Pressure.
Welcome back, Shay.
Yay.
We
Welcome
missed
back,
you.
Shay Shay.
Look, now that you've come on
Did
our
you pick
show,
one,
though,
or
you
you
need
pick
to
multiple?
get your
She
show
cheating,
together so
y'all.
I can come on your show.
She cheating.
All right, everybody can just come on everybody's show.
Don't make
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, whoa, wait
No
a minute.
homo.
Wait a minute.
No homo.
Wait a minute.
All right, y'all ready?
We gave her a long one. She
She said
nervous.
it's gonna make me cry.
It's a long one. Y'all know I can't read. Bear with me. All right, say I'm going to be
Okay,
gone
funny.
one day, and I have to accept that tomorrow isn't promised. Am I okay with how I'm living today? It's the only thing I can help if I didn't have another one. What have I done with all my todays? Am I doing a good job? And that's by Haley Williams.
Listen,
Wow.
every
Woo,
time.
Baby goosebumps.
So far since
Hi,
we've been
Alex.
doing this, every single time, it ends up being exactly on theme with
Our
what we're talking about.
quotes always resonate everything we
crazy.
talked about.
That's
Spirit don't lie.
synchronicity.
That's true. Let me. So I've been posting them on our social medias. Wow, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the
So if you did
That's a
not
good
hear
one.
that clearly or want to hear it again, Princess will be posting it ASAP,
Yes, I'll
so
be
you
posting
can
it.
look at all of our
that sums
socials
up
for that.
Today's show.
Wow.
y'all. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm not about to read that again. I was gonna read it again, but I'm not. I can't read it.
Here,
Just
I'll
look on
read
my
it.
social media.
Oh God, we about to be here.
Look at my Instagram.
I'm gonna be gone one day. Y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone.
You're gonna miss me.
I'm gonna be gone one day, and I have to accept that tomorrow is a promise. Am I okay with how I'm living today? It's the only thing I can help. If I didn't have another one, what would I? What have I?
What?
What in the what? What have I done with all my todays? Am I doing a good job? That's I really like that. Isn't Haley Williams from Paramore?
I believe so.
Can you pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, that's from Paramore.
That's my jam.
Yeah. And the night skies like
Sweet.
shooting stars.
Well, that was good. That was good. That was fun. Tomorrow is a produced episode, so episode 2.
Yes, episode 2.
Make sure y'all
Episode 2
tune
out
in.
of 1.
Out of 2. 2 of
I'm just
1.
kidding. 1 of 2.
2 of 2.
Dos of dos. Dosy dos.
Oh no.
I don't know how I'm gonna go to the
Dosey,
gym after this. I
dosey.
feel like my brain is
I don't know.
fried.
Yeah, my brain is fried. Now lay to the side, pick it up and let it ride.
Pound that
It's
coke and
live,
sniff it
it's
up.
live.
Pound that
Hey,
coke and sniff it
hey,
up.
hey.
Pound that.
Hey, that's what we about to dance.
Sniff it up.
Hey, bro. 2 to the left, 2
Dun,
to the right. Sorry.
Don't.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
But
goodness.
listen, y'all know what we tell y'all every day. All right, it's been fun.
It's been trill. It's been
been
so
so
freaking
freaking
real.
I'm your girl, the princess of all.
I'm Kujo Speaks.
And I'm Shea Butter.
Deuces. Ladies, stay pretty.
King stay kingin'.
Bye.
Bye, Alicia.
Bye.
You know them musicians wanna flow.
Every show. All right, y'all. I know that was wild.